has to make a run. So there's stakes even in the earliest parts of what is a 10 seed versus 15 seed Tuesday matchup of the ACC tournament. There are high stakes. Now the winner of this one does go on to play NC State.
That's right.
State is the 7 seed. I think State fans won't even get mad at me for saying this. Whoever wins this one, they're thinking upset alert. They're thinking we want to play Virginia on Thursday in the quarters because State, even though they are a 7 seed, they seem vulnerable based on how they've played their last 7 games. So the stakes for Stanford and Pitt rise even further. And maybe there is kind of a new amount of wide openness to the ACC tournament based on what we've heard from the Duke camp as of yesterday, which, now add them. If you look at just pure talent, like future NBA, jumping, shooting, you just measure raw talent. At the beginning of the year, the 2 best teams in the ACC were likely Duke and Carolina. They are now both absolutely smacked by injuries for the ACC tournament. Obviously, Caleb Wilson going out for UNC is enough right there, right? He's probably top 5 pick in the NBA draft. But if you look at Duke, they now have Caleb Foster and Patrick Gungba on a real injury watch, right? As far as Gungba, both of them out for the ACC tournament. They're hoping Big Pat, as they call him, will be back for the NCAA tournament, and they're just hoping that Caleb Foster might be available if they reach it to the Final Four. But don't take it from me. Let's hear it straight from Jon Scheyer. Here's Jon Scheyer, the head coach of Duke, on the status of his big man, Patrick Gungba.
Well, I don't think we have a crystal ball in terms of you rest 5 days and the 6th day he's ready. I think there's a little bit of it where you want to make sure he feels as best as possible. But our intention is for him to play in the tournament. I mean, that's the intention. And we'll cross that bridge next week to, really see, how he's feeling and making sure that just his soreness is down. But he's going to play. It's a matter of when. And our expectation is it's going to be at the beginning of the tournament.
That's of the big man. How about the guy on the perimeter? What is the update from Jon Scheyer on Caleb Foster? All right. Well, I can tell you this. That clip was we'll call it up in the air. But I can tell you essentially what Jon Scheyer was going to say there. Caleb Foster, he broke his foot. He is determined, right, as most athletes are. He's told Duke, I will be back by the end of the NCAA tournament. I will make it happen. And they are hopeful that he can be back for maybe a Final Four. But Duke would have to, A, advance there, which is no given, especially with their injuries, and B, he'd probably have to break some tendencies in that rehab. We'll talk about how they overcome that, if they overcome that, and what it does to the ACC tournament at 3:15, about 10 minutes from now. Right at this moment, however, we have to jump to number 2 in the Big Three.
Number 2.
Carolina Hurricanes play tonight. It is a hockey night in Carolina, and it is a home game. They don't have a ton of those left. Home game, 7 p.m. puck drop against Pittsburgh. This is the first time they've been home in a while, right? You're looking at essentially 2 weeks where they had been on the road. Last home game was against Detroit back on February 28th, now March 10th, so maybe not quite 2 weeks. Shane Gostisbehere, who was not available last game, also was not skating at morning skate today, so you would expect him not to be around for the at least immediate future. That hurts. I mean, Shane Gostisbehere, right? I guess the only thing that's held him back this year are these, I don't want to say random, but seemingly just annoying 2-week injuries that he's had a bunch of times. Other than that, he's been a point per game player. He's been one of the best point producers of any defenseman in the NHL, right? And the names that he's mentioned alongside are the names that, the entire world knows. So he's been really, really productive. And then he disappears for 2 weeks with some kind of a lower body or upper body or whatever body injury. So it's another bummer for him. But if you're going to go silver lining with it, right? If you're gonna try to hunt for the good, hunt for the optimistic, it is always exciting when Alexander Nikishin gets run with the first power play unit. right? Shane Gostisbehere brings so much experience and puck movement and all this savvy and the pump fakes and everything else. Alexander Nikishin has a different skill set of more raw tools that could open up some things and needs reps to open up those things. So if he gets some real power play experience against a team like Pittsburgh, could help him out. And who knows how long that goes with Gostisbehere. Obviously, in hockey, we get so little insight into injuries. I know that everyone's going to be paying attention to the goalies. I believe Freddie is going to be in net tonight.
Correct.
Freddie has been solid since the Olympic break, and actually even before the Olympic break had been turning some things around. So you hope that he can continue that, right? You hope that he can continue that. Dennis, any other kind of intro points I'm missing on the Pittsburgh game tonight?
No, that's really it. We won't see Nicolas Deslauriers.
The new guy.
We won't see Deslauriers today.
It'll take some time to acclimate into the Kane system, and then it'll probably take some games to acclimate into the Kane system.
Yeah.
But there's one thing it doesn't take acclimation, and that's if somebody wants to drop the gloves. Oh, he's acclimated. He knows how it feels. It is, by the way, I know that Eric Tulsky's taken a lot of arrows for being kind of quiet at the deadline. How good does it feel to just know that the Canes have one of those guys? To just go if somebody wants to drop the gloves, he's acclimated. You haven't really been able to say that about a Carolina Hurricanes team in at least a couple years, right? So it's just nice to know that guy exists. So maybe you didn't get everything you wanted, but you got something, right? Maybe didn't get the full loaf of bread, but you got a slice. Make an open-faced sandwich. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That is number 2. How about number 3?
Number 3.
Dan Morgan, Carolina Panthers GM. Officially add him to your list of people that are not playing around. There were two main, there are other, but two main positions of need on the defense for the Carolina Panthers. Edge rusher, off-ball linebacker. You don't have to work that hard to convince yourself that the number one option at each of those two positions this free agency was Jalen Phillips at edge rusher and Devin Lloyd at off-ball linebacker. And on the first day of free agency, Dan Morgan received agreements, not officially signed contracts, but agreements with Jalen Phillips and Devin Lloyd to join the Carolina Panthers. I mean, that is, I guess we need to have an option B, an option C, an option D, but I don't want to get there. I want option A, and he went and got them both. We talked a lot about Jalen Phillips yesterday, and we will continue to talk a lot about Jalen Phillips. Devin Lloyd is an interesting one. Devin Lloyd, I'll tell you what, the good, versatile, the good, still very young. The good was one of the best players on that Jacksonville defense last year, and on and on. If you're looking for the worry, right, because there's a concern with every free agent acquisition. You hope you didn't just pay all-time career year prices for Devin Lloyd. And you didn't overpay for him by any stretch, right? 3 years, $15 million. There's a bunch of, I would say, below Devin Lloyd's talent level linebackers that are making in that range. So, good negotiating. But he's coming off a 5-interception season. He's coming off an all-pro year. He's coming off a year where he did a bunch of things that he had not done before.
Blitzed a lot, too.
So you're hoping that it is a level up where it clicked and that is who he is now, and not that was just a career year. I will say this. Many of the other years in his career would still be welcome to the Carolina Panthers, right? Like other years, he's a 130 tackle guy. He's sideline to sideline. Maybe never the most sure tackler, does miss some, but the athleticism just gives him so many opportunities because he's chasing guys down, and he's, it's like, I don't know, a center fielder that covers way more ground than everybody else, but occasionally might commit an error. It's like, yeah, but that error nobody else was getting to, right? That's just a single for any other center fielder because they wouldn't even get their glove on it. He misses some tackles, but there's a good argument that a lot of other linebackers wouldn't even be there to miss the tackle. So who's really in the worst situation there? But also, if he wants to keep intercepting passes, Turnovers are important, and it's something that the Panthers need to do more of, right? You can't just depend on J.C. Horn to be the guy getting his hands on the ball. Other guys have to figure out a way to do it, and Devin Lloyd did last year for Jacksonville. Again, conviction from the front office. They wanted Devin Lloyd. They went and got him. They wanted Jalen Phillips. They went and got him. I guess maybe they wanted Kenny Pickett. They went and got him. Seems like they're picking off guys at the top of their list to add in free agency. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Well, I'll tell you what, Duke basketball, they want Caleb Foster. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to have him. Injuries hit the Blue Devils. What does that do for the ACC tournament and beyond? Stick around.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here for my friends at Buffalo Brothers. It's the best time of the year for college basketball, and Buffalo Brothers is a slam dunk. Best place in the Triangle to watch all the big games. They always have great drink specials, and check this out. Every Monday, half-price wings all day. That's half-price wings all day Monday. Dine in only. Now that's a deal, baby. Check out any of their 5 Triangle locations or online at buffbrothers.com. Aw, man! Now I want wings!
This is the sound of Jack, buzz-cutting his way to a small fortune. To Jack, every time he cuts his own hair, that's $50 right in his pocket. If Jack sees DIY buzz cuts as a saving strategy, Wells Fargo is right behind him. And with their mobile app, tracking his savings is easy. Oh, ouch. However you make money work, we can work with that.
Mobile carriers' message and data rates may apply. Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Life's great stories are built on yes and. Yes to the big game and the private suite. Yes to the beach and sailing offshore. Yes to traveling the country and exploring new ones. With the new Millionaire for Life from the North Carolina Education Lottery, you can say yes to $1 million now and every year for a lifetime. Millionaire for Life. Winning is just the beginning. Drawing 7 days a week. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 8.47. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. Bit of housekeeping. At 4:33, with it being a hockey night in Carolina, we will be taking first goal scorer predictions. So if you haven't done so already, start thinking about who will score the first goal for the Carolina Hurricanes tonight and in what period you think they will score it. Also, get in on the madness with the fans, that's us, the fans Basketball Mayhem Bracket Challenge. Fill out your picks, and if you beat the odds with a perfect bracket, you score the $1 million national grand prize. Dominate our local leaderboard and pocket $500 for being the best in the triangle. I didn't know if 500 would also get the cha-ching. There it is. Should. $500, nothing to sneeze at. The Fans Basketball Mayhem Bracket Challenge is presented by North Carolina Courage, so go ahead and take your shot. And there will be a leaderboard, and I believe there's going to be brackets from all of us here at 99.9 The Fan. So you could win $500, you could win $1 million, or you could just aim for the bragging rights of beating your local sports radio hosts and on-air personalities and waving it in our face. Just know that we're big on accountability, so if you get smoked by us, we'll let you know that as well.
That we will.
You can register now at 999thefan.com. That is 999thefan.com to take your shot.
Let's go.
I love bracket season.
Oh, who doesn't?
I absolutely love it.
By the way, one bracket.
Are you a bracket of integrity?
One bracket guy.
Okay.
One bracket guy.
That used to be an old Mike and Mike bit where Greenberg had the bracket of integrity, and Golick was filling out, like, you know, for every pool he was in, he was filling out a different winner, so he'd always have one in the running. Here's my official stance, and it's an overly thought of stance. You You can have multiple brackets. You're not allowed to root for multiple brackets, right? You have to like have one that you claim. And then, because like if the sports gambling's a thing now, right? If you want to go put it in for this, put it in for that, and you want to diversify your possibilities of making money, that's fine. But you can't claim them like you know ball, right? You can't be like, hey, I won because Florida won it all. Hey, I know ball. And it's like, well, no. Was that the one bracket you claim to be your reputation bracket? So if you're doing it for money, do you? If you're doing it for you're going to talk some trash, you got to pick one. That's my official take. As if someone asked. Speaking of the bracket, though, I bet you, a lot of people were planning on putting Duke all the way into their national championship, all the way into their Final Four, and I wonder if they're not going, should I change it? Should I double back? I really liked them, but part of the reason I liked them is because they had these waves of defenders they could throw at you. And you know what's actually one of the craziest stats I've seen about this Duke defense? Malik Brown ends up winning ACC Defensive Player of the Year, and he's all ACC Defensive First Team.
Sixth man of the year. Their defense gives up more points with him on the floor than off. And I, by the way, I'm not saying like, oh, Malik's a bad Defensive Player of the Year pick, but I'm saying he's often playing with second unit guys, and their first unit is so good that they don't need the Defensive Player of the Year to be unreal defensively because they're throwing Caleb Foster when healthy, which he's not right now. Dame Sarr, Cam Boozer, Patrick Gungbutt, like those are all really good defenders. Really good defenders. Now, here's the issue. Caleb Foster, as we played for you, or we updated you on earlier, he broke his foot. It seems to be like they are hoping, and hope is by no means planning for. Seems to be they're hoping that he's available if they make it to the Final Four. Patrick Gungbutt is a player that also walking boot, also injured, and John Shire, I believe rightfully so, is prioritizing the NCAA tournament over the ACC tournament. So perhaps they could have rushed Gungbutt back and got him into the ACC if that were the end-all, be-all, we need to win situation. But it seems like they're going to err on the side of caution and almost like plan all rehab as if the NCAA tournament is when they want him back. And that is, again, I think the right thing, but it is also concerning. John Shire explains the sentiment that I just tried to describe right here in this audio from yesterday.
Our goal is to be in a position to win this thing, to win the big one. And, 3 games in 3 days can take a lot out of you. I don't even think we approach it thinking that way. Like for me, it's let's win Thursday. Like how can we be at our best for Thursday? How can we play to our habits? I don't want to out trick somebody, to win. Like we got to make sure we adjust and adapt and be smart with who we have. But at the end of the day, like I want us just to take it game by game. And I think approaching it to win helps you get ready for the NCAA tournament. And I think we're going to learn some new things, which I'm excited about. But, yeah, that's the priority.
So there's really 2 ways to look at this, and it's the 2 tournaments remaining. You can look at this through an ACC tournament lens, which I think many of us care about. We'll actually be there tomorrow, and we'll be there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday doing our show live, and it's going to have to move around a little bit to be between games and everything else. But we're really excited. I love going to the ACC tournament every year. And looking at it through an ACC tournament lens, it is much less about like, oh, can you get these guys healthy or chasing the big one. And it's much more about who's not there. Foster and Gungbutt are not going to be there. So what do you do next? And if you look at Duke, their rotation's gonna shrink, right? I don't anticipate them going like, all right, now, maybe Darren Harris plays a bit more, but they're not gonna go deep to their bench.
Yeah, he said he pretty much going to go with the 7-man rotation. That's what he said this morning.
Caden Boozer, you went from a guy off the bench to you're running the show for Duke.
Yep.
He's going to have the ball in his hands. He's going to be playing point guard, and for Duke's sake, it's nice that he has an unbelievable amount of big game experience, as much as you can from the high school level. He and his brother Cam, and by the way, at times, Caleb Wilson on their team, have won every single AAU tournament you can possibly win, national championship, regionals, peach jams, everything. They've won state championships. He's played in big games. Granted, ACC tournament a little bit different, obviously higher level of competition, but 20 minutes a game on the year, that's going to have to probably be like 30. And when he doesn't have the ball, who's bringing it up the court? Is it Cam Boozer, ultra big point forward? Is it somebody like Hamania? Is it somebody like, probably not Darren Harris? Is it Isaiah Evans? You never know. John Shire's going to have to decide. And on the other side, if Gongba's out, which he will be for the ACC tournament, who takes those minutes and who's guarding the opposing team's best bigs? These are questions that are not easy to answer. Cam Boozer, probably capable of guarding a lot of bigs, but the last thing you want is to get him in foul trouble because he's guarding the other team's most skilled offensive post players. Might not have a choice. He might have to be recklessly disciplined. Going back to the ball handler situation, who's going to handle the rock for Duke with Caleb Foster out? John Shire addressed that again yesterday during his media.
It's a little bit what we've done. It's by committee. I think it's not going to be just one guy. And when Caden's out of the game, when and if he's out of the game, I think the fact of us having multiple ball handlers, that's where it's really going to come in handy. Literally 1 through 5 can initiate offense and bring up the ball. And so that's something we're going to work on today, frankly.
By the way, all this media from John Shire's earlier today, my days are all off. I knew it was this morning. I thought it was Wednesday.
Daylight savings, it happens.
Yeah, that 1 hour really throws us off. More interesting about it is I wonder what other teams are going to do. Right? If John Shire's sitting there saying 1 through 5 can all bring the ball up, if I'm another team, I'm trying to choose who brings the ball up. I'm denying. I'm jumping passing lanes. If that means I can turn Cam Boozer into an offense initiator and he doesn't get touches in the post because he's out there handling the rock outside the three-point line, I might try to make that happen. The ACC became way more open with a 7-man rotation for Duke where they just can't keep sending waves at you. From an NCAA tournament standpoint, if Gongba's back, that's massive, especially when they get matched up with the other really good teams that have some really good depth in the front court. But with Caleb Foster out, I think it just puts a lot more pressure on guys like Dame Sarr. Puts a lot more pressure on guys like Caden Boozer, who have been good but have not been wildly consistent. Right? They don't shoot the three well, Duke as a whole. So basically what they're doing is taking away one of their chances to have somebody be hot from three. Right? Because up until now, it's Isaiah Evans, he could be hot from three. That makes a lot of sense. He's probably their best shooter. Caleb Foster could be hot from three. Caden Boozer could be hot from three off the bench. Dame Sarr, Hamania, Darren Harris. That's 6 guys who might be hot from three that could open up the perimeter spacing. Now you're down to 5. Just one less chance. And on top of that, you lose the leadership of Caleb Foster being kind of the resident junior.
And Caleb Foster is actually second on the team in three-point shooting percentage at 40.2%, second behind Cam Boozer at 40.7%.
At times, I've been frustrated that Caleb Foster doesn't shoot it more because he shoots a good percentage, and other guys on the team are taking higher volume. But either way, Caleb Foster, that loss is going to be noted. And it's a bummer for him personally. This is second time he's missed a postseason run with an injury. Again, might come back, but people on social media were unearthing clips from 2 years ago where during warm-ups he almost had to go take 2 jumpers in a boot. He had a walking boot on, and he had to take off the sweater just to get 2 flat-footed threes, just because it was it's the NCAA tournament court. I'm not going to not take a shot, but he was hurt, and now there's a world where he's doing the same thing the first weekend of the NCAA tournament, and that's a bummer for somebody that I think a lot of people in his situation would have left Duke probably after their freshman year and gone and been a obvious starter, high usage guy somewhere else.
Yeah, Shire's got in that squad, they're going to figure this one out in a very, very short period of time. It's not like it's one thing if this happened, let's say 3 weeks ago. Like, oh, okay, we know that Caleb Foster's not going to be playing. Then you can adapt and your team can adapt over time. You don't have that luxury if you're Shire. You just don't.
Yep, and the both Gongba and Foster are kind of like if you know players of importance for them. Right? When UNC loses Caleb Wilson, when Texas Tech loses JT Toppin, the entire world is like, oh, that's brutal for them. He's so important because they lead it in every category. These guys don't have that obvious, oh, man. But it's not that level, but it's close. Like, those guys are really important to what Duke does. It's not Cam Boozer, no, but they're important, especially when you put them together and you're missing both of them.
It's your starting 1 and 5. They're important. For the number 1 team in the country, it's your starting 1 and 5.
Yep. And very good defensive players for a very good defensive team. Coming up next on The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Maybe a Duke player will work their way into the Dean's List. Who knows? You'll have to stick around to find out. But before we can even get to the Dean's List, Dennis Cox has something for you.
I do. Dennis Cox here real quick for my good friends over at Law Tigers. Folks, it's getting warm out there. You're seeing a lot more motorcycles out there on the road. So just be mindful. When you're out there, just keep in mind that you're going to see a lot more motorcycles out there on the road. But also as a motorcycle rider like myself, one thing that you have to be cautious of when you're out there on the road is assume nobody sees you. Just assume no one sees you out there on the road. Do the best you can to put yourself in a safe space and always have an out in case someone cuts you off, someone drifts in your lane. Always have an escape. But if you are injured in a motorcycle accident, you need to call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS even before you contact the insurance company. Because here's the thing with Law Tigers. They're there to fight for you. Law Tigers are part of the motorcycle riding community. Whereas insurance companies, let's be honest, they want to give you the least amount possible. Law Tigers, your case evaluation is always free, and they don't get paid a dime until your case settles. So call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, gets to the Dean's List. Coming up next.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply or price stopped. Opt out.
Hey, man, how did the date go?
I had to cancel. I don't get paid until Friday.
You didn't know that you can get up to a $750 paycheck advance with the current app?
Where was that information yesterday?
Just text them. See if you qualify. $750? Boom. And right now, they're offering a $75 bonus when you set up an eligible direct deposit.
Think I should call her back?
Yeah.
Need money before payday? Current has you covered. Set up an eligible direct deposit to see if you qualify for a paycheck advance of up to $750. Hurry and receive an extra $75 sign-up bonus right now. Text BETTER to 323232. That's BETTER to 323232. BETTER to 323232.
Paycheck advance is offered by FindCo Advance LLC, a financial technology company, not an FDIC-insured bank. Eligibility and available amounts may vary and are subject to change at any time. For full terms and conditions, visit current.com/radio or call 1-888-851-3177 for more information.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com. And get ready for the workday.
Organize easy. Organize tough. Customize your work truck or van with Upfit Solutions from Van Products. Steel and aluminum shelving, toolboxes, data files, cabinets, drawers, conduit carriers, ladder racks, everything safe and secure. Everything built as unbreakable as you by Adrian Steel. Backed by the best warranty in the business. 3 years, 36,000 miles. Everything custom installed by Van Products so you know it's done right. From a single work rig to a fleet. Choose custom installed Upfit Solutions from Van Products.
Hey friends, Paul Eihander from 99.9 The Fan for FanDuel. And right now, new FanDuel customers can get up to $300 back in bonus bets every day for 10 days if your bet loses. Here's how it works. Place a tournament bet using the token. If it doesn't win, you'll get up to $300 back in bonus bets every single day for 10 straight days. That's 10 chances to play all tourney long, from game props and money lines to spreads, totals, futures, and more. You can mix things up with same-game parlays for a shot at a bigger payout. However you want to fill out your bracket, FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the action day after day. So visit FanDuel.com/Paul, Paul with a capital P, and sign up today. FanDuel, it's time to dance. 21 plus and present in North Carolina. Must apply select token each day. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days after receipt. Tokens are received in increments of 1 per day. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Bogovac drives right side. A step back. 3. Good! Lucas punches it home.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. If you tune into the show tomorrow, just so everybody knows, if you tune into the show tomorrow, Dennis and I will be in Charlotte for the ACC Tournament. We will be in the building.
Darn right.
Passing along our observations, trying to get to the true stories of the ACC Tournament for you. So we look forward to passing all that along to you. Dennis, I know that we're going to have games from the ACC Tournament. Our play-by-play is always on point, but sometimes there's a little bit of direction that the listeners need. Can you pass along what they need to know?
So tomorrow night, after the show wraps up, 6:30 is when ESPN radio coverage starts of the ACC Tournament right here on 99.9 The Fan. So we will have that coverage for you on The Fan starting with the evening session. Now, if you're an NC State fan, your tip-off is at noon tomorrow. You can listen to that over on Mix 101.5.
Beautiful.
But then at 3 o'clock, just tune into The Fan, and you'll be able to hear our reactions. Mm-hmm. We'll have locker room sound, all that kind of stuff for you. On Thursday.
And the 6:30 coverage by ESPN will be Florida State Cal. That's the 7 o'clock game. And then beyond that, there will be either Virginia Tech or potentially Wake Forest playing Clemson on the late game. That'll be 9:30.
So yeah, but late tip-off. Now on Thursday, we will have noon tip-off, Virginia versus potentially NC State or Pitt or Stanford, whomever. So we'll have that game for you. Then also whomever Miami plays at 2:30. We'll have that for you right here on 99.9 The Fan on Thursday. Then once that second game ends, Tim, you and I will jump on the air, and we're going to walk you all the way up to 6:30 when you have Storm Watch because the Carolina Hurricanes are back in action. But that 7 o'clock game, ACC, Duke, that's when the 1 seed takes off. You can listen to that over on Buzz Sports Radio.
And we're going to continue to update you on all this throughout the week, so don't think you have to take notes. But there is some bouncing across our family of networks just to make sure you catch everything, as well as the Canes, because the Canes, they're always here on 99.9 The Fan, and we don't do anything to mess that up.
If you forgot all of this, just go to 999thefan.com or the 99.9 The Fan app. We got it all listed for you.
For ACC, actually, you know what? Let's jump into the Dean's List right now. And I promise you there will be ACC tournament updates within the Dean's List. Let's put the Pitt Panthers on the Dean's List for currently having a 5-point lead on the Stanford Cardinal in the ACC first round. 57-52. 6 minutes to go in the second. That would be an upset. As Pitt is the 15 seed, which means they are the last team to make it into the ACC tournament.
That's true.
If you are the 16, 17, or 18 team in the ACC, you don't even get invited to the tournament for the conference tourney. So Pitt's looking to be true Cinderella. But first things they have to do is take care of Stanford. Stanford trying to avoid the upset. It is a 4-point game now, 57-53. Pitt, 57-54. Pitt over Stanford with less than 6 minutes to play in the second half now. So Pittsburgh makes the Dean's List.
Pair of free throws by Stanford, 3-point game now.
There you go. More Dean's List for you here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. There's a couple different directions I could go here. We'll go this way. This is just a fun basketball fact. I'm putting Gonzaga on the Dean's List.
All right.
Gonzaga has reached the WCC, their conference, the West Coast Conference, tournament finals every year since 1998.
Dang.
29 consecutive conference championship games.
for Gonzaga.
You almost can do it in Sharpie.
That's
at
unreal.
Gonzaga.
And listen, I know they don't play in some murderer's row, but like never having a rebuild year, that's ridiculous. Not once.
Aren't they going to the Pac-12?
I think they are. Yeah,
the Pac, whatever it is.
So are they going to leave the West Coast Conference on a 29 straight championship game heater and just bounce?
Yeah.
Never end it?
You guys can go ahead and just keep fighting for second best. We're just going to go over here and play someone else.
1998, John Elway won the Super Bowl. Like, it's a long time ago. Michael Jordan won the NBA championship a long time ago. More Dean's List. Well, speaking of records in basketball, Duke men's basketball. This is more of a milestone than a record because they already own the record. But Duke was chosen as the number one team in the AP poll for this week.
Okay.
150th time. That's the most of all schools. 150th.
Really?
UCLA second with 134. Kentucky third with 125.
Wow.
And no disrespect to Kentucky or UCLA, they don't look like they're getting back there in the immediate near future.
No.
So you'd think Duke is just going to continue gaining on 2 and 3. That's 150. 150 weeks, number one in the AP poll. Crazy. Do you have some Dean's Listers you would like to throw out here?
I do. I'd like to throw out one. Actually, I missed this one. I meant to say it yesterday. But I'm going to throw out Andrew Wiggins. Not the NBA player.
I was going to say the Maple
Mamba.
I'm
talking Andrew Wiggins of NC State baseball.
Oh, I did, yeah.
He performed the national anthem before one of their games this past weekend on a saxophone.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. And my favorite part, you can go watch the clips online. Watch him walk up to the microphone. His face says, like, oh, yeah, y'all about to see.
Oh, y'all.
Like he knows
y'all going to hear these.
That everyone's kind of a little like, somebody's going to play the saxophone. And he's just like, yep, somebody's going to play the saxophone.
Yeah, they are.
That's
he crushed it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Very cool.
So, yeah, shout out Andrew Wiggins.
And also, Andrew Wiggins, kind of a jerk.
Is he?
You can't be that good at two things.
Oh.
You can't be that good at baseball to where you're playing at NC State and also be that good of a... Somebody out there is just looking to be good at one thing. You can't give him that musical talent. Second John Elway reference. You can't be drafted in baseball and be that good at quarterback. No, I'm kidding. It's actually really impressive, but it's really just me being very jealous. More Dean's List. Ready? This is like a be present reminder, a wellness reminder. People that enjoy this year's bracket season. Because we are always on the potential brink of tournament expansion. And at this time next year, we might be arguing about whether the 78th best team in the country was snubbed out of the 76-team tournament. We might be arguing about whether 101, as far as the 101st best team, should have been in the 96-team tournament. I'm just saying they talk about it all the time. So while we are in the glory days of the perfect 64-team normal bracket with the first four as an appetizer, enjoy it. Be sure to be present. Don't take it for granted. It's messed up that they're even considering it, but they are. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That is the Dean's List here on The Drive.
Oh, can I actually throw one more Dean's List?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Stay after. Talk to the class.
Dean's List, all the teachers that let their students watch the ACC tournament growing up. That's what we had growing up.
You weren't even. It's a very North Carolina.
Oh,
but you were in Charlottesville, so
yeah,
it's still ACC.
Right outside UVA. So yeah, our teachers would turn the games and stuff on. Yeah, we would watch the ACC tournament.
I'm very jealous.
Old Jefferson Pilot Sports, baby. I'm Raycom action.
Very jealous that everybody around here has this core elementary school memory of the ACC tournament being let's dim the lights and wheel in the old school fat TV and play some college basketball on television.
The best part was you would figure out the teacher, especially in high school. You figure out the teachers that would be showing the game. Yeah, can I just go use the bathroom real fast? And you would just like dip away and just like peek your head in, be like, what's the score? What's the score? That was always
this was the thing for me. My mom taught at my elementary school, so I was like probably more friendly with the teachers than like a normal kid should be. Mm-hmm. Like, I'd see him at like a pool party on Saturday, a teacher, and I could joke with him or whatever. But I definitely knew which teachers were sports fans. And, I could swing by. Like, I'd take the long way to math class to make sure I swing by. I'd be like, what's the score? Who's winning? How many does Shane Battier have, or whatever the player of the moment was. And gosh, to be able to just sit in class and get all those updates live to a television, I'm jealous.
Oh yeah, you used to get jealous of the friends. It used to be because it would always be in Greensboro.
Mm-hmm.
And someone would just be like,
get pulled out and get to go?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Someone would be like,
oh, man.
Hey, so-and-so, where'd they go? Oh, they're in Greensboro. Oh, what? They get to go? Yeah, that was always a thing.
I'm using all my allowance money to buy a hat so I can walk into school the next day with ACC Tournament hat, shirt, something, so everybody knows. Not only was I not in school yesterday.
Because from Charlottesville down to Greensboro, it's about 3 hours.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure around here people did it all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Very jealous. Very. I don't get to go when I'm 9, but I do get to go when I'm 35. We'll be there tomorrow.
Let's go.
Childhood dreams. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly here for Miller Lending. Speaking of childhood dreams, some people long for the days when they were younger and interest rates were lower for mortgages. But guess what? When we were kids, I wish I could have bought my first house in 2008. Sorry, I was too bad in sophomore English in high school. Didn't have the cash, right? We all wish we could do that. But you can't choose the timing all the time, right? You can't lock in the rate when you need to. So Miller Lending does the next best thing. They make it as easy and as barrier-free to refi. No closing costs. That's why they call it a no-cost loan, a no-cost mortgage. You can have a refi with no closing costs. Thus, if rates drop, refi. If rates drop, refi. Do it as many times as you need. People here in the office have done it a bunch of times, been happy with their experience every single time with Miller Lending. It truly is one of the only ways to kind of time travel, right? You get your mortgage now, but if rates are going to be better 2 years from now, well, in 2 years, you just time travel and I didn't take my mortgage. I'll get it right now. Refi, lower monthly payment. So go ahead. If that was confusing, fine. Time travel, right? Even time travel movies often are. But you can get clarification by calling this number and talking to Miller Lending about a no closing cost loan. 919-447-3377. That's 919-447-3377. Or visit them online at millerlending.com. Once again, that's millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 250-2146. We get to the podium. Who gets the gold medal? Stick around to find out.
Dugout has double the madness this March. Catch all the tourney games on the Dugout Tavern and Grill's massive 16-foot surround sound video wall. On top of that, we've got St. Patty's Day parties. Dugout has $20 Corona buckets, Modelo bucket specials, New Belgium Voodoo Ranger IPA pints for $5.50, and New Belgium is also sponsoring our bracket prize packs. Free to play. Plus, we've got beer reps coming in every weekend to treat the crowd to giveaways. Catch all the March action at the Dugout Tavern and Grill on Kelly Road in Apex.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Amy Cox did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. And with that money, she decided to treat herself to an anti-aging red light mask. Will she look like a horror movie villain every night? Yes. Will her boyfriend Kevin be scarred for life? That's certainly a risk. But it's Amy's savings, and if she's willing to risk her relationship for smooth, wrinkle-free skin, well, bye-bye, Kevin. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Adam Gold in studio with my man Patrick Day from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. All right, let's paint the scenario here. I need windows, but man, I don't have 3 hours to go through the process of deciding what I need, when I need it. Can you help at the Aluminum Company?
Absolutely. So, first of all, when we come out to your house to look at your windows, typical window appointment may last 45 minutes, an hour. We're certainly not going to make a 4 or 5 hour commitment to talk about windows. We're there to help.
Serve dinner last time.
Right. Listen, my wife always says, I talk to my wife all the time when we have salespeople, whatever we're doing. And my wife, I tell her all the time, I can't stand salespeople. And she laughs. She's like, you are a salesperson. I'm like, well, the difference is I'm just having a conversation trying to help people get what they want. I'm not there to pressure you. I'm just there to help you get in and out. And it's a pretty quick appointment. It's pretty efficient. So we're there to help you and make it quick.
I can vouch for that. The Aluminum Company of North Carolina, online at aluminumcompany.com.
Trimble pushing the pace, gets deep, draws the foul, and gets the layup to go. Another three-point chance for the Hills.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. If NC State wants their season-ending loss to Stanford to be a good loss, they need Stanford to finish this one out. Stanford and Pitt in the ACC Tournament. 15-seed Pitt against 10-seed Stanford. Coming down to the wire. Minute left. Pittsburgh 62, Stanford 60. So Stanford has closed it a little bit, but it's gonna come down to free throws and execution down the stretch. So we'll see how it goes. That loss by State to Stanford definitely does play into the podium as we get to it here on The Drive. Let's see. Can we get the podium music? We don't need it, but I do like to feel dramatic, like I'm marching in some ceremonies. NC State off the podium for the last week of men's basketball. They have one entry this grading term, one entry over the last week, and it was the loss to Stanford 85-84. It's not the end of the world losing to Stanford, especially with Okori, who is their freshman stud, all ACC player, all freshman team. Really surprised everybody and is, I don't want to say this where Stanford fans can hear me, but will likely make a lot of money in the transfer portal this offseason if Stanford doesn't make him a very rich man for staying at Stanford. But the issue for State is, A, it was another game that they seemed to have control of at times in the second half, and B, it was such a necessary win, and you had it. It was such a you should have been urgent win because a win might be the difference between you making or missing the NCAA tournament. A win in that Stanford game, and just knowing that is a possibility. How do you not go out there and play with your hair on fire a bit more than they did? So off the podium, NC State. Bronze goes to Wake Forest, finding their way onto the podium. They did lose to Virginia, but it was close. Huh? Virginia's second best team in the ACC as far as seeding goes. They're a top 15 team in the country by most polls, and Wake kept it close. Then they beat Cal 80-73. Listen, the only way that Wake Forest is going to make it to the NCAA tournament is by winning the ACC, and they would have to go through Virginia Tech, then Clemson, then North Carolina, then likely Duke, then whoever they would face in the championship. That right there is not an easy situation, but I do respect the heck out of how they fought all the way to the end. Like, every game seems to matter to them. Juke Harris, second team All-ACC, most improved player in the ACC. 20-point scorer, fills up the stat sheet. They've got some good things going. I will say this, though, and this is why it's always dangerous highlighting players and teams for recruiting rankings. I did see the stud that made them the top 10 or the 10th rated recruiting class in the country did decommit from Wake, which is a bummer for this reason. When he committed to Wake, I think he was like the 200th best recruit in the country. And then he had a lights out senior year and rose to like 20th in the country. And then he decommitted from Wake. And I just feel like you should, like a stock, you should get paid out for that. Like if you buy into a player at 200 and he leaves you at 20, you should get a benefit of those like 180 spots. But alas, they will not. And they're back to trying to fill their crown jewel of the recruiting class. Silver goes to UNC. They did lose to Duke, but they beat Clemson prior to that. And beating Clemson is the one that solidified, locked in their 2-game or double bye in the ACC tournament.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they needed to win that one.
And really, they played 3 out of 4 good halves. It was just the second half against Duke that got away from them.
They won the must win. They gave it a good swing at the Duke win, although they just didn't have the firepower. So I'm giving them silver on the fact that beating Clemson was more important to them, and Clemson's a better team than Wake Forest, their Cal win, right? The Cal win was not as important nor as challenging as UNC's win over Clemson. And then gold goes to Duke. Their only entry was beating Carolina 76-61. It was the win that completed a second straight undefeated at home ACC and overall home schedule. Second straight year they've done that. So, and it got revenge for the earlier loss to UNC. They get the gold, although they paid for it, right? The Caleb Foster injury happening in that game is it's a price they paid for gold this week.
Yeah, definitely came at a cost.
Makes it interesting. As always, that is the podium. Those are the four teams from the state of North Carolina in the ACC who had the best week. When we are complete with the podium, as we are now, we look towards the Gold Star, which is a team from either the lower divisions or the mid-major selections to earn a little extra praise. So Dennis, where's the Gold Star going this week?
I actually have a few silver stars I want to throw out here. Don't worry.
Silver stars?
Hey, you know what? You got to recognize great when you see it. 3 schools from the state of North Carolina made the Division II men's tournament. Fayetteville State, Lenore-Rhine, Catawba all made it to the NCAA tournament in men's basketball for Division II. The Gold Star goes to Queens. You win the A-Sun. Congratulations on Queens.
First time on their way to the NCAA tournament.
Yes, they've only been a Division I program for just a few years now. As a whole, their athletic department was Division II. They just moved up to Division III. Oh, sorry, from Division II to Division I. So it's, again, Division I program that's very young, already winning the Atlantic Sun. Congratulations.
And
they get the Gold Star.
That is the type of success that is snowballing, where because they put money into their program. They wanted to be a more premier athletic university, so they dumped some money into it. When you dump money into something and you see the results, you're more inclined to continue dumping money into something. If you dump money into something and you don't get the results, you're more inclined to go, why am I spending my money here? I can do something else with it. So it's very important early on that when you spend money on something, you get it back from a athletic standpoint. You see the advertising, you see the more applicants coming in because of your athletic success. So Queen's University doing that. I don't say this often. I hope they go first 4. Because I do think for certain programs, having a legit shot at a win in Dayton is maybe more important than getting that, automatically a 16 seed or whatever, or 15 seed where you get kind of lit up in the big dance. So first 4, getting a win, that could be big.
Oh, yeah. They'll play in Dayton for sure. They'll be a Dayton team. They'll be like the 16 versus 16 matchup.
Go there and potentially win a game.
Yeah, for real.
That's huge.
Because one of the cool things I will say about Dayton, even though you have to play the extra round, you're the only game that's being played at that moment, so everyone's watching you.
And you're more likely to win. I want to emphasize that.
For
sure. Winning your tournament is awesome. Getting to play in the dance is awesome. But I'm sure at a certain point, when you're 8 minutes into the game and you're down 25 to a team with a bunch of people that are their NIL individually is more than your entire team's, you're like, what are we doing here? If you win in Dayton, you get to win. That's a straight game. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Dennis, your eyes turned real big. Is something going on in that Pitt-Stanford ACC tournament game?
So it is 63-62 Stanford, but Pitt has the ball. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. I need to know what's going on.
Pitt with a putback attempt with 0.4 seconds left. They're going to go to the clock and check the time here, but a putback attempt by Minor of Pitt has it now 64-63 for the Fighting
So it could have been
Jeff
a buzzer-beating tip-in for Pitt to win.
Yeah, well, there definitely was time on the clock. There's still 0.4 on the clock, but they're going to review and see. So there was a long shot early, a rebound, loose ball that got knocked into the backcourt by Stanford, and it was just kind of a scramble play. So Minor for Pitt gets into the lane, misses a layup.
Gosh, I love March.
But then he gets his own rebound.
I follow your shot, kids. You could win yourself an ACC tournament game.
So, yeah, I think there's probably going to be more about 0.8 seconds, I think, on the clock. So they're always going to go check in and see. But there's definitely time on the clock. The buzzer didn't even sound when they stopped the clock. So anyway.
That could be Stanford's season. That could be Okori being done.
But
that's crazy.
The winner of this game has to play NC State tomorrow.
Correct.
At noon.
Correct. So go to overtime.
Right.
Tire yourselves out. You know what? We'll update you on how this one finishes up right at the top of the next hour, right before we get to football at 4. So stick around. ACC Tournament results and football at 4 coming up next.
Hey, folks, Dennis Cox here for my good friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. If you are serious about the weight loss journey, you have to give Raleigh Weight Loss Center a call, 919-897-7506, or swing by RaleighWeightLossCenter.com and set up a free 15-minute phone call. Here's the thing about Raleigh Weight Loss Center, and I was part of the program. I can speak from this firsthand. No shots, no injections, no drugs, no steroids, none of the nasty side effects. Just restarting your metabolism. That way your body can do the natural thing. They've helped thousands of people lose anywhere between 10 to 20% of their body weight. I lost 15% of my body weight, more than 15% of my body weight, over 40 pounds, thanks to Raleigh Weight Loss Center. Again, give them a call, 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Set up that free 15-minute phone call. I'm living, breathing, walking proof that the plan can work. First 50 callers get a $100 discount. 919-897-7506. Results may vary.
Hi, Greg Talbot with Strategic Tax Resolution. Tax enforcement and defense strategies have changed a lot over the last year. After nearly 5 years, the IRS has restarted automated collections. You could be next for bank levies and wage garnishments. Ignoring the issue is not an option. Call 984-272-2600 to get protected. Do you have unfiled returns or tax debt? We work directly with the IRS and states so you don't have to. Let us use our proven strategies and experience with the IRS and state to resolve your tax issue. Qualified clients have cut their tax debt by more than 90%. How would that feel? Act now to learn the latest updates to tax relief programs. Your eligibility may not be the same. Strategic Tax Resolution. Local, trusted, A+ rated by the BBB. Call 984-272-2600. Ask for me, Greg Talbot, 984-272-2600. You've got a guy on your side. StrategicTaxResolution.com. Get relief.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Partly cloudy skies for us this afternoon with a high of 82, and that will break our previous record high for today. Overnight tonight, it's mild in the mid-60s under mostly cloudy skies, and then we're back to plenty of sunshine for tomorrow and the hottest day of the year so far with a high of 87.
Weather update brought to you by Give UNC. Give UNC is back Tuesday, March 24th. Get ready to leave your mark at giveunc.unc.edu. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones at the closing bell down 34 points to 47,706.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Dennis, has the Pittsburgh-Stanford game finished yet?
No.
All right, I'm glad we didn't wait around before the break.
It's taken several minutes to decide how long this last 0.7 seconds is going to take. So Stanford was looking to inbound the ball from the baseline. Again, they were able to run the floor, but they're looking to inbound the ball. A player for Pitt swatted the inbound pass back, almost like a volleyball block.
Mm-hmm.
So they're checking to see how much time actually would have came off the clock. It's when it first touches out of bounds. So the clock went from 0.7 to 0.4, but they're still reviewing at the table and all that blah, blah, blah. It might take another. We might be.
The reason we care so much is, A, it's the ACC tournament.
Yes.
And I mean, great start, right? Unbelievable game to get things going. But also the winner of this one plays NC State tomorrow. So the winner of this becomes, the first opponent of a local team in the ACC tournament. So we'll see. And I would say the odds on is it's going to be Pittsburgh, but they call it madness for a reason. With that being said, at 4, regardless of if we're in March or not, we talk pigskin at 4. It's time for football at 4. Football at 4, we focus on the Carolina Panthers additions. These are not pen to paper signed, but they are agreed upon, and for all intents and purposes, they will be Carolina Panthers next year. 3 names are basically the ones that are making headlines. There's a couple other depth players that, signed whatever deals or agreed to whatever deals. But the big ones are Jalen Phillips, edge rusher from Philly, spent most of his career with the Dolphins, former first-round pick, on a 4-year, $120 million, $80 million guaranteed contract. Devin Lloyd, who we talked about earlier, off-ball linebacker coming from Jacksonville, 3 years, $45 million, $25 guaranteed. And then there's Kenny Pickett. Yeah, that Kenny Pickett, old fake slide Pickett, old Panthers Pickett.
Going back to the building where he had that fake slide in the ACC championship game.
I bet you he's locked in on this college basketball game we're talking about.
Oh, of course.
$7.5 million, 1-year deal for Pickett to back up Bryce Young. I get the feeling that the Panthers are looking around going, I don't want to say it, but I think we're throwing a perfect free agency. Like it's Dan Morgan is sitting somewhere with like a windbreaker on just his right arm, sitting and no one's talking to him. And I'm not saying like I'm looking at it and grading everything perfectly, but I think it's plausible that they went into free agency with a list of edge rushers, a list of off-ball backers, and a list of backup quarterbacks that they wanted to bring in. And number 1 edge rusher was Jalen Phillips. Number 1 off-ball backer was Devin Lloyd, and number 1 backup quarterback was Kenny Pickett. They may be going 3 for 3, perfect, grabbed all their number 1 seeds, to use a March term. And if they aren't, they're close to it, right? Like Devin Lloyd was not the 10th best free agent off-ball backer, right? He may not have been their number 1, but he definitely was. He's closer to 1 than he is like 6, based on how good he played, how well he played for Jacksonville last year. Jalen Phillips, I'd almost guarantee, was their number 1 edge rusher because they paid for what they paid him. They could have gotten any edge rusher on the market. And Kenny Pickett just seems like exactly what they've described as far as wanting to fill out the rest of the quarterback room, right? They've talked about veteran backup. They've also talked about being younger. Like it just kind of all comes together and kind of looks like Kenny Pickett. That's pretty good. Right? And again, I'm not talking as much as like how I evaluate it or how you evaluate it. I'm talking about it how they evaluate it. And with how much pride and how much you have to trust yourself as a front office. You can't just look around and read mock drafts and think, all right, well, that's who I should draft. Like you have to bet on your own knowledge. They're going for it. And I respect the heck out of that. Right? Regardless of what the analysts and experts will go, free agency, I'm going to give them a B-, like a little overspendy. Regardless of whatever that was, they have to look at their list and go, these are guys we wanted and we went to get them. And then when you look bigger picture, what have I been talking all offseason for the Panthers about? They're returning. Stability is everything, right? They're returning darn near everybody. Even the biggest change that I see for them prior to free agency wasn't really like a new person. It was just new roles, right? It was Dave Canales giving up play calling. That was the biggest change, and even that was like, well, we're all going to still be in the same offices. It's just he's going to do something that I used to do. And that, of course, being Brad Idzik, the offensive coordinator. So if you look at it and you say this team was on schedule for growth, okay? They've increased by 3 wins each of the last couple years. They learned exceptionally valuable lessons on their way to the postseason this year and in the postseason this year. Then they returned their entire coaching staff, GM. Their owner is actually getting improved grades in things like the NFLPA surveys that were leaked.
Shh, don't tell him.
He was darn near personable Super Bowl week, going around and doing the Pat McAfees and things. He even, and I've never seen this before, he and Dan Morgan, by the way, have kind of flipped the script on the whole drink throwing thing, because he gave the full kind of conversation and he broke it down, and it's like, you know what, I could see how that could happen. Then Dan Morgan jumps in and he's like, I probably deserve a little bit more of that blame, because I told that guy to shut up well before the owner even got involved throwing a drink. And it's just like, whoa, if they're spinning that back, something's going on good here. Quarterback back, number 1 wide receiver back, number 2 wide receiver back, interior offensive line mostly back. You're looking at your best 2-3 defensive players back. You're looking at young players getting older and developing. You're like, they didn't lose much, so you're excited about that. And then you go, not only are you going to return everything, you're going to add your number 1 option at edge rusher, off-ball backer, and backup quarterback. Now if I thought there was going to be some improvement just on stability, there better be a lot of improvement. Now, on paper, this team should be significantly better than last year, assuming they take care of left tackle, center, safety.
Yeah. Now, they might already have an answer of that safety if they want to go Latham Ransom, but they still need depth there. But there's on paper, you look at Jalen Phillips is an upgrade over what they lost in DJ Wanham, massively.
I was going to say, yes.
Massively.
And
it's not even close.
I don't want to be mean to DJ Wanham with how I would react there.
It's what it is. There's a reason why one got paid a lot over the other.
Yeah.
Devin Lloyd is an upgrade of what they had at inside backer for several years now. Since Shaq Thompson was last healthy, which was years ago. It's an upgrade over Frankie Louvu from a couple years ago, too. And Frankie Louvu was really, really good. Devin Lloyd, in my eyes, is just better, especially at this point in their careers. They've upgraded, like you said. That defense now, you look at that front 7 and what they've paid and what they've put invested into just the last 2 years. You drafted a 2nd and 3rd round pick at edge rusher with Scorton and Umamielen. You just paid Phillips, like you talked about. You just paid Devin Lloyd. You paid Derek Brown a fat contract extension. You paid Tershawn Wharton. You paid Bobby Brown. You loaded up that front 7. And then also you paid J.C. Horn a bunch, and also you paid Trayvon Merrick a bunch as well. Like, you put a ton of resources into that defense. I'm sorry, that defense can't be middle of the pack. That's too much money and assets into that defense to just be middle of the pack. You can't be, hey, we're 16th in a lot of stuff. No. You got to be 12th or better in a lot of things.
And by the way, this is probably the most expensive this defense will be for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Because you should spend a lot on other positions when your quarterback and number 1 wide receiver are both on rookie contracts. I said it yesterday, based on what Alec Pierce was paid, Tedero McMillan will not be cheap when he comes due in 2 or, he becomes eligible to sign an extension in 2 years, but won't kick in for a little bit after that. Bryce Young, if he is your guy and he proves it this year, he will not be cheap. His 5th-year option, which is not this upcoming year, is the next year, is already significantly more than what you've been paying him. So this is likely the most obvious talent you will have on a defense for the Carolina Panthers for some time. Because eventually you're going to start taking some of that money and paying some of your dudes on offense. Especially if they use 19 to draft a left tackle, 19th overall pick to draft a left tackle. Then you will have likely your starting left tackle, your quarterback, and your wide receiver on rookie contracts. With that being the case, you better spend on defense, because what else are you doing with that money? Where else is it going? And here's the other thing that I really like. Bringing in veterans at those positions, I think, will help the guys on your roster. Trevin Wallace has flashed at times something good, especially in coverage as a off-ball backer. I think Devin Lloyd, a guy who's been through a little bit more, can be a really positive influence on him. I am very excited to see what Jalen Phillips, what the type of impact he can have on somebody like Princely Umamielen can be. Because if you go back and Jalen Phillips had a very interesting college experience where at one point I know it was a moped accident. I think he was hit by a car on a moped. He was on the moped and was hit by a car and had some like very serious injuries. Lost his love of football for a little bit. Took a year off. His parents were basically like, what are you doing? You love football. Came back. That's when he went to Miami, the University of Miami. Had a great shortened year. Gets drafted in the first round. A lot of that off measurables. But because of kind of the years off and the injury rehab and everything, he was a skinny dude. Now, if you look at him, he looks like he's like an Under Armour mannequin built to like 2 or 3 times like too strong. Like he must protect this, not even a house. He must protect this apartment complex. He is a giant dude, but he hasn't lost, when healthy, any of his explosion. Prince Umanmielen's another guy, like 240, right? Got the combine, a little undersized. And he's not quite as tall as Jalen Phillips. But if Phillips can show him how to keep the explosion while getting a little bit bigger, setting the edge, being good against the run, suddenly Umanmielen doesn't have to be like a specialist. He can go out there and play more often. Then, oh, look at this. It's a rotation, right? Nick Scorin's already pretty good. You want him to be more of a stud at them all, but he's a jack of all trades right now. He can do a little bit of everything. You trust him out there a lot more. Phillips, Umanmielen, all of a sudden you get a rotation of guys with high kind of pedigrees. They're all seen as very toolsy. That's much better for an edge rush than having, a couple guys you depend on and also a few specialists.
I think the versatility of their defense is what's going to be key, because Devin Lloyd can cover and he can blitz.
Yep.
That's the thing as well. Like, that's something that Evero hasn't had with his off-ball linebackers. Not consistently. So he hasn't had that. The fact that Phillips can drop in and cover. And also, we have seen at times where with guys like Pat Jones slide down into the interior at times and on pass rushing situations before his back injury. You have some versatility in your defense. You should be able creatively, as a defensive coordinator, in my eyes, with these pieces, find different ways to apply pressure. And you should be able to with this personnel.
I talked about it yesterday where Evero, I think the best version of an Evero defense, Evero being the defensive coordinator for the Panthers, is like a Vic Fangio defense. Because Evero doesn't love to blitz. He doesn't like to bring extra guys, right? If you look at percentages, he doesn't bring extras in pressures very often. Fangio is maybe the best in the NFL at making it seem like 6 guys are blitzing, but you're only bringing 4. You can't do that if you don't have versatility, right? You can't do that if you can't occasionally drop your outside linebacker into coverage because he's just an edge rusher. So Phillips' versatility, Lloyd's versatility, also the dependence on Derek Brown to where you can use him as like a one-man run stuffer at times. Trayvon Merrick's versatility, his ability to be a blitzer and also drop in coverage, Lathan Ransom's comfort, moving up into the box and filling run gaps. All of that should, I emphasize should, and also the trust they have in their corners to be on an island in J.C. Horn and Michael Jackson. All of that should, emphasis on should, free up Evero to be very creative and confuse opposing quarterbacks. Should. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That's a little football at 4. To update you, it did end up going final. Pittsburgh won the first game of the ACC tournament over Stanford 64-63. Stanford probably needed to win 2 games to make the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, at least. Just have a chance.
So they're likely donezo. That's a bubble team whose bubble just burst. But if you're NC State, you now catch Pitt, who is the 15th team in the ACC tomorrow. Pittsburgh, NC State. NC State, the 7th seed, Pittsburgh 15. 15 is the last seed in the NCAA tournament, or in the ACC tournament.
I know in 30 minutes we're going to talk about State and Carolina when it comes to the ACC tournament, but real quick, you can't lose tomorrow if you're State. Just
honestly, it's like the third straight game you can't lose.
You can't
no,
lose.
Actually, second straight. But Stanford, you couldn't lose. They did. Pitt, you better win. It might hurt them because Stanford is just seen like metrically as a better win if you beat them. And it would have probably erased some of the feelings about losing to Stanford in the last regular season game. But you can only play who's in front of you, and they're going to draw Pittsburgh tomorrow. And we'll react to it here on the show from the ACC tournament tomorrow. Tune in for that. Actually, just stay tuned for that. Because up next, another competition you don't want to miss. We play a game of Copper Drop coming up
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois. CordellCordell.com.
The Pack Therapy Podcast is in session. Tim Donnelly here, host of The Drive, alongside Max Gorin.
Every episode is your chance to score inside information on the Pack.
We'll set you up for Wolfpack basketball all season long.
And we break down the ACC competition, what to watch for as we roll towards the tournament madness.
Follow and subscribe to Pack Therapy wherever you discover your favorite podcasts or watch on YouTube.
Hello, I'm John Heister for the Heister Automotive Group. And we're constantly looking for ways to serve you better. One of the ways we do that is with something we call a Go-See. And that's where you select a vehicle from our inventory, and we have thousands, and we get one of our product specialists to bring that vehicle to you at your convenience. How do we do that? Well, it's simple. We have a group of employees that are evaluated based on the number of presentations they do. They're glad to do it. So it's just one more way we get off our keister and bring Heister to you.
Soundstation and Security, your automotive and audio experts. Car audio, car video, home theater, wheels and tires, and so much more. Plus, did you know Soundstation and Security offers full service for your vehicle? Alignments, inspection, oil changes, window tinting, and custom exhaust. And with a variety of financing options, Soundstation and Security can help you get what you need today. 2 locations, downtown Smithfield and on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh. Soundstation and Security. Visit myhotsound.com.
Need parts fast? Need them now? O'Reilly is fast. Just one part that makes O'Reilly Auto Parts stand apart. Right now at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts, you can get 1 free set of brake pads when you buy 2 qualifying brake rotors. Ask the professional parts people about additional brake pad and rotor upgrade options available at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Are you tired of getting hammered by high interest debt? Mortgage over 6%, credit cards and car loans at 10, 20%? Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto is here with the answer you've been waiting on, the all-in home refi. One fast, easy solution to lock in the lowest rate in 3 years and wipe out all those nasty loans. One homeowner got their APR down to 4.99%, paid off over $80,000 in high interest loans, and saved over $2,000 a month. And listen, while some lenders charge up to $10,000 in fees to do this, Loan Pronto's cost is just $995. $995, and you can wipe out your high interest loans all at once. It's the all-in refi from Loan Pronto. Super fast, super cheap, no hard credit pull up front, often no appraisal, and you can even skip your next 2 house payments. Loan Pronto, A+ BBB rated with nearly 3,000 5-star Google reviews. Call now and ask about the all-new all-in refi. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan.
Yeah, it's still an SEC
I was gonna
one,
say,
but yeah.
Bringing it back.
Yep. It's an old SEC one, but I'm like, yeah, I got to throw back an old Jefferson Pilot sports intro here.
They could do, what was it? Was it NBC that did the NBA throwback broadcast where they had all the old graphics and stuff? It would be awesome if they did like a Tuesday ACC tournament, Raycom Sports.
Oh, you mean this right here?
Yeah.
There we go.
You get West Durham to just pretend to be Woody for the day.
Right?
Like just, I mean, he's got the genes.
And Jefferson Pilot Sports.
You could do it. That's all I'm saying. You could do it.
In college basketball,
It'd be really
Atlantic Coast Conference. Today's game is brought to you by Continental Airlines.
State fans will like this. You wear all the throwback uniforms.
Yeah.
So State wears just State.
By Nationwide Insurance.
Would they be approved? Would they approve that?
By
I mean, Will Wade's tried that.
You'll get a strongly worded email. But maybe if the ACC asks, everybody can get with it.
Two of the nation's finest ready to
Honestly,
go.
I don't know if there's anything in sports more universally praised than throwbacks. Just anything nostalgic, everyone gets immediately jacked up for.
Oh, I'm the same way.
No, I'm not saying like I'm not a part of it, but if they just did a Tuesday ACC tournament, everything as if it were 1993 or earlier, anytime before that, I'm all in. And I don't even remember those. Like I'm too young to remember that. But you give me like an 85 broadcast, I'm all about it. And actually at like 9 a.m., since the game started at noon, they should just replay like a game from the 87. Get Ralph Sampson out there in an ACC tournament game. Just make it happen.
Well, that intro I just played there from old Raycom was from 94, 95.
Okay, yeah,
and it was
93.
number 7 Maryland versus number 14 Wake Forest at Little Joel Coliseum.
I would have taken it. Just replay that at like 10, and then at noon have live games with old school graphics and everything. I'm about it. We'll see. If anyone wants to do it, that idea is free. Next one's going to cost you.
That's true.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. A lot going on. NFL free agency. Carolina Hurricanes play tonight. In about 10 minutes, we'll be taking first goal scorer predictions, so start thinking about who will score the first goal for the Canes and in what period, if you haven't done so already. And also, college basketball. So we thought we'd tackle a whole bunch of those topics in a game of Cop or Drop.
You want true enlightenment? Well, I'm dropping.
All right, Cop or Drop. The ACC will have at least one team in the Final Four. Cop or Drop.
Copping. I mean, how many years consecutively has it been now?
A lot.
A bunch, right?
More than anyone else.
And do you know what the take that? The world doesn't recognize that the ACC does is, I think the world, meaning the college sports world, because Duke has been very good the last couple of years, they think it's like Duke and the Pips. But if you look at who's made the Final Four, State made it, obviously. Miami has made it. Virginia has made it. Carolina has made it.
And
Duke has made it. Like, it really, a bunch of different teams can have their, hot streak and make it to the Final Four. And this year, if you told me Duke made it, if you told me Carolina made it, I might be a little surprised just because of the Caleb Wilson injury. But if you told me Virginia made it, if you told me Miami made it, none of these would be jaw on the floor surprising. A couple mild surprises, but I think the depth of the ACC. So if you just give me ACC Final Four, will they have an appearance? Heck yeah, because that gives me the percentage of all of these teams added together. Yeah, make it happen.
All right, Cop or Drop. Duke basketball, with their injuries, still makes the Final Four. Cop or Drop.
Tough without seeing the bracket. Tough without seeing who else they'd have to go through.
But you're banking on the team.
True. Yeah, I'm gonna Cop. With the only caveat I would ask for is that Gungba's able to go, right? Without Foster, I think they can make it to a Final Four. Without both of them, I start to get nervous about that second weekend. But the good news is, if you're a Duke fan, is that Caleb, goodness, I was about to say Caleb Boozer. There's
him too.
There's Caden Boozer, there's Cam Boozer, there's Caleb Foster, there's confusion. Cam Boozer is about as dependable as a player has ever been in college basketball. So if you're going to lose players to injury around him, at least you're not as susceptible to, gosh, I don't know if we're going to be able to survive a bad Cam Boozer game, right? Because it's like, we don't even know what that looks like. So yeah, I'm still taking him to make the Final Four. If you force me into choosing, I would like to see the draw before I, make any bets with money. But if you force me, I'll say buying.
All right, Carolina Panthers have made some big free agent moves, agreements over the last couple of days. Cop or drop. Carolina Panthers finish with double-digit wins this upcoming season. Cop or drop.
Oh, double digits is tough. I'm gonna drop it.
Okay.
But here's, before you get on me about insulting the Panthers, I had this observation the other day. I was looking at futures, right? Because I like to place a couple dollars on just over-unders win totals for different teams across the NFL before free agency, before the draft, and then before the season. Because, one signing and all of a sudden that number changes a bunch. You could have real value. There was not a team prior to free agency, not a single team in the NFL where the over-under in wins was higher than 10.5. Not a single one. Take the Chiefs, the Rams, the Eagles, the Ravens, these teams that are seen as the Bills, whoever. These teams that are seen as, such well-run franchises with such solidified stars. Not a single team had their win-loss above 10.5. Maybe that changed with some free agent stuff. Maybe they're like, oh, the Chiefs with former Wake Forest running back Kenneth Walker III. That's a match made in heaven. And maybe they bumped him up to 11. I don't know. But if no team's win-loss total is at 10.5 or above 10.5, I don't know if I can take the Panthers 9.5 over. They were at 6.5 prior to the free agent, and I can
still there.
And I can tell you this: I know what side of that I'm on. I'm on the over.
Yeah,
but that's not the question that's being asked. The question that's being asked is 10. I'm dropping that.
Okay. Next one here: cop or drop. The Carolina Panthers in the first round draft an offensive tackle. Cop or drop?
I'm leaning more that way. You know what? I'll cop it. With the hard part is, if there were a bunch of good tackles available at 19, I think they might wait and try to get him in the second, and then they could go more BPA, best player available, in the first. But right now, with how much money they've spent, and by the way, they did release A'Shawn Robinson, or at least make it known they're going to release A'Shawn Robinson today, so that made up some cap space. But with how much they gave to Jalen Phillips and with how much they gave to Devin Lloyd, I assume they can't really go splurge on a free agent tackle, offensive tackle. And they need somebody they're comfortable starting very early, if not week 1, due to the Ike Ekwonu injury. So first-round pick would probably be the next best option there. I assume they spent their free agent money with the understanding that they liked the offensive tackle market in the draft. So I'll cop that they're going first-round offensive tackle.
All right, next one here, cop or drop. Let's actually shift focus over here to the Carolina Hurricanes. Obviously, they're in action tonight against Pittsburgh. Cop or drop, Canes finished with the number 1 overall seed in the Eastern Conference for the playoffs. Cop or drop?
Interesting. I would. What I need to make sure I have their. They are 1 game behind and 2 points over Buffalo. Tampa.
Let's see. In the East, they are 2 points ahead of the Sabres with a game in hand.
Okay.
And they're 4 points ahead of the Lightning, though the Lightning have 1 game in hand. They have the best points percentage in the entire East.
Yeah, you know what? I'm copping. I think they care. I think they're going to push through. I think with the goalie situation, they do not want to be too cool for school and take their foot off the gas and try to flip it. I think they want to make sure those guys have confidence going into the playoffs, obviously. So I don't think they'll do much more than 1 or 2 games where starters are rested if everything's in hand. So yeah, I think they go number 1 Eastern Conference seed and do everything they can to hit with full steam ahead into the postseason.
All right, cop or drop. The Carolina Hurricanes currently have on the team, they have 4 guys who have scored 20 or more goals this season.
Nice.
Seth Jarvis, Sebastian Aho, Andrei Svechnikov, Nikolai Ehlers are all 20-plus goal scorers. Jackson Blake, Jordan Stahl each have 19 and 16 respectively. Cop or drop? Both Blake and Stahl hit the 20-goal mark this season. Cop or drop?
This is the easiest cop we've had all day. Jackson Blake being 1 goal away, and he's in a much better place now than he was pre-Olympic break as far as scoring goals. He's showing some of that exceptional, I call it rink rat stuff where his puck handling can lead toward shots, and he's putting it in more difficult places. Seems to be seeing things well. So Jackson Blake getting one more over the next, essentially 20 games. Easy. Jordan Staal is a heat-seeking missile for 20-plus. I've been saying that for a while. He's grabbed a couple empty netters this year. He's out there on the power play in front of the net, winning faceoffs. I think he is, but I'll even take it one step further. I believe his high water mark as a Carolina Hurricane is 20 goals. I think that's the most he scored since he came to Carolina. I think he sets a new high. I think it's 21 plus for Jordan Staal. I think he wants it. I think he feels a little fountain of youth move, a little like, hey, I might not be as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was. Watch this season. I'm going to put up 23. Something like that is kind of what I'm seeing Jordan Staal doing. So, yeah, they both get it. And outside chance somebody like Taylor Hall gets up there and jumps into the 20-goal scores as well.
Real strong finish for Hall. Be pretty awesome. Be 6 goals over the last, 19 games of the season or so? He could do it.
I was going to say, he's
got a hattie in him.
Well, yeah, that'd make it a lot. He'd get half of them in a game, half the ones he needs. But also, that second line is creating a lot of chances.
That they are.
And he's playing there, and he's a former MVP. Yeah, there's potential. I'm not predicting that one, but I'm saying there's an outside chance.
All right, next one here. Cop or drop Alexander Nikishin, who has 8 goals on the season. Cop or drop Nikishin hits the 10-goal mark in his rookie year.
I'm copping that, too. Who knows how long Shane Gostisbehere is going to be out, but as long as he is, I assume Nikishin's going to be getting those power play 1 opportunities. Also, and I've been saying this for a while now, there's something about the West Coast games. If there is a 10 p.m. start, Alexander Nikishin, I don't know, the West Coast air gives extra 2 miles per hour on his slap shots. I feel like every game they play where I'm fighting to stay awake, he's like, don't worry, I got you. Here's some energy. And he's just ripping it. And I want it. Now, obviously, they don't have a ton more West Coast games or any left, but I hope he brings that energy back. That is a skill, that is a talent, that is something he has in his tool bag. So I hope he continues to be comfortable letting it fly. And even if it doesn't go in, right? Deflections, pressure, it all counts. I think he gets 2 more. That's it for Copper Drop, because speaking of goal scorers, speaking of Canes goal scorers, that takes us right into first goal scorer predictions. Heistar Automotive Group hotline is open if you want to make a first goal scorer prediction. 919-860-5326. Call in now with who you think will score the first goal for the Carolina Hurricanes and in what period you think that first goal will be scored. 919-860-5326. Call in now. And I can tell you this. We have an internal competition here at 99.9 The Fan. All of our on-air personalities are competing. The listeners have been much better than us as of late. We've had more listeners getting them right than we've been getting them right. So let's see if you all can stay hot. Even when you're close, you're closer than us, right? Svetch scores first. None of us pick Svetch. At least a listener picks Svetch just in the wrong period. So call in now. 919-860-5326. While Dennis lines up those callers, I will give you as I said, the predictions from those of us here at 99.9 The Fan. Adam Gold went a little off the norm with Will Carrier. Carrier in the first was Adam Gold's prediction. Says it's on a breakaway. Victoria, the producer of the Adam Gold Show. Jarvis in the first 10 minutes, but she did want everybody to know that she strongly considered Aho. So if it's Aho, she's going to feel like she just missed out. Max Gorin produces next up with Paul Eihander, is sitting in for Paul, who's out all this week. So Max is hosting. Check it out. He picked Svetch in the first on a power play. And as I just said, Paul out this week, so we went to our promotions director, Bree. She sat in for Paul. He'll get credit if she gets it right. She went with Ehlers in the first. Now we go to our listeners. We have Mike in Garner is up first. Mike, welcome to the show. Who scores the first goal for the Carolina Hurricanes and in what period?
Robbie in the first.
You said
stretch pass from Jarvis.
You said
That was
Robbie?
From Jankowski. Robbie. Stretch pass from Jankowski going 5-hole.
All right. Hey, I like the details. Aggressive, quick, straight to the point. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. That was Vicky Valancourt from Waterboy vibes. Like, that ain't no guess. That's what it's going to be. Let's go next to Brian in Holly Springs. Brian, welcome to the show. Who scores the first goal and in what period?
I'm going to go with Nikishin in the first period, 5-on-5, and he's just going to muscle his way to the front of the goal.
All right, 5-on-5, muscles his way. He does have the muscle. Big dude. Appreciate it. You're locked in, and good luck to you. And that'll bring us to our last caller that we'll be taking today for first goal score predictions. Blake in Lynchburg. Blake, who scores the first goal and in what period?
Give me Jackson Blake, first period, and I'm going to go even further. Give me the first minute and a half of the game.
All right. I love it. The real quick, that's going to be really quick for him, just basically off the bench and into the goal, which I appreciate. Blake, thank you very much. Good luck to you. We have you locked in for Blake in the first.
Oh, yeah.
First minute and a half of the game.
Calling in from Lynchburg, Virginia.
Well, hey, when you are as convicted that somebody is going to score that quickly, no distance is too great for you to dial your phone and call on it. As if you had to, like, walk here and deliver it. Like, no distance is too far for him to traverse. No mountain too high for him to dial his phone and call in. But we do appreciate everybody that listens out of the area. It's pretty cool. Dennis, we need your prediction. Who scores the first goal?
I feel like going back to the blue line.
I don't hate that.
Give me Sean Walker in the first.
Walker's been active recently.
Give me Sean Walker in the first.
Any other details you want to throw out there?
I want to say that it's actually a shot that was a rebound into the high slot. He just collects it and just rips a snapshot top corner.
All right. Rebound into the high slot. You are
rebound off of a Svechnikov shot.
Ooh, Svech has been active as well. I'm going back to the well. Aho in the first. I predicted, one of my bold predictions that I'm tracking as carefully and closely as any, was that post-Olympic break, Sebastian Aho was going to be at least 1.25 points per game. 1.33 as it stands right now.
Keep it rolling.
I'm telling you, the Aho level up is happening, and more goals will actually keep coming, right? He's always going to be good with the assists. The goals are where I'm expecting the faucet to open up soon and just pour goals onto the ice. And maybe today will be the start of it, right? First period, probably early. I'll go first half of the first period to keep that point production alive. And then another assist later on to be a multi-point night. Got to get that average up. If you have first goal scorer predictions and you did not get through, that's completely okay. We appreciate you for trying. You can still run to our 99.9 The Fan YouTube live stream and jump in the comments there right under the live stream. If you're on YouTube right now, I'm pointing down to the comments. Jump in there with a name, the player that you think will score the first goal, and the period that you think it will be scored.
We have from Rodney, it's Seth Jarvis in the first period, late in the first period on a breakaway. We also have from D. Ely, Chatfield in the first, from Stankoven and Slavin to tie it at 1.
All right.
He said to tie it at 1 because Freddie's in net, so you can always count on the early goal against. But he will lock it down. He does say Canes win 5-1.
Okay, there you go. Saved yourself. You had me in the first half, but you came back as a dramatic. I thought D. Ely was just giving us a hard time because we said something about Ryan Suzuki one point in the world. If you don't get that, it's okay. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. You can keep sending those in, again, to our YouTube live stream comments. Even if we don't get to them on air, we do read them, and we will give you your kudos if you get them right. The Drive with Tim Donnelly. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly here for Manor Service Company. The upcoming weeks, guess what? You know what time of year it is. You sit on the couch, you watch sports. You watch a lot of basketball, right? You're planted, which means you need your house to come through. Right? If it's cold outside, you need your heating system to make sure you're comfy. If it's hot outside, right? It's North Carolina. You get either this time of year. You need to make sure your cooling system's working, keeping you comfy. If you have a timeout for review, you don't know how long you have to go use the bathroom. But if you got to do it, you got to do it. You need your plumbing to come through. And gosh forbid, you need to make sure your electrical systems are running right so you don't have a 3, 2, turns black on you. You don't want any of that to happen. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical. They are the unsung heroes of this time of year, and Manor Service Company,
They want to keep them running for you. Call them up for some maintenance checks. Get that there for some service runs. Make sure everything's running correctly. But definitely keep their phone number on hand for those emergencies when one of those systems falters. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electric, Mainer Service Company, service you can trust. The number, 919-361-0993. That's 919-361-0993. Or visit them online at MainerServices.com. That's MAYNOR. Services.com. We'll take a break. When we come back, NC State and Carolina. What's their path through the ACC tournament like? Stick around.
Hey, it's Adam Gold, and as the Carolina Hurricanes shoot for their 8th consecutive playoff appearance, that's right, 8 in a row, that's not the goal, I should remind you. The goal is being, as Rod Brindamore likes to say, the last team standing. What do they need? Who will get them there? You know where you can find the answers on every episode of the Canes Corner podcast, live on YouTube after games, and wherever you get your podcast. Rate, subscribe, like, share, tell your friends.
This is Gordon Miller from Miller Lending in Cary. Back in 1989, when I first went on the radio to introduce this whole no closing cost concept, where you could actually close on your mortgage without the lender taking $15,000, I had no idea if I had created the next pet rock fad of the day or something that would define my career over the course of the next 37 years. But once mortgage rates fell from 9 down to 6, our business exploded and I never looked back. You see, a no-cost loan is the only consumer-friendly mortgage where the homeowner actually holds all the cards. Short funds to close, eliminate thousands of dollars in closing costs. Rates are now down almost 2% from the peak, but you're holding off due to the cost of a refi? Not anymore. So let's start you down that path of eliminating closing costs once and for all and keep that money where it belongs, with you. 919-447-3377. That's 919-447-3377. Or simply apply online at MillerLending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 250-2146.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
When it comes to your roof, it's all about quality above with peace of mind below. Hi, this is Holly with RoofWorks. We're proud to be in our 20th year helping families and businesses keep the roof over their heads as economically as possible. We work on every type of roof, gutters, and skylights with quality repairs, maintenance, and replacements for your home, your business, and multifamily. We offer warranties with every new roof and financing options for homeowners, and we're now serving Southern Pines as well. Visit us to learn more at roofwerks.com.
This hour of The Drive is brought to you by Law Tigers. Injured in a motorcycle accident? Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS before you call your insurance company. Case evaluations are always free, and you don't pay a dime until your case settles. Law Tigers, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Oh, the madness is getting started. You can get in on the madness with the Fans Basketball Mayhem Bracket Challenge. Fill out your picks, and if you beat the odds with a perfect bracket, you score the $1 million national grand prize. $1 million. You can do a lot with that. You can dominate our local leaderboard and pocket $500 for being the best in the triangle. So you beat everybody around here, $500. You post the perfect bracket, $1 million
The Fans Basketball Mayhem Bracket Challenge is presented by the North Carolina Courage. Take your shot and register now at 999thefan.com. That's 999thefan.com. And yes, we will be participating, and you'll be able to see our scores, so you can see how you stack up against us in bracket challenges. What I will say is I put a lot of work into my bracket every year, and traditionally, like an aunt who doesn't watch college basketball at all, or like my cousin's kid who doesn't watch college basketball at all, usually smoke me. So, anybody can win on any given year.
I'm probably just actually have my fiance just sit down with her like, all right, let's pick them. She actually is a big basketball fan, so she enjoys it.
My family is a very, very big basketball family, very, very big sports family. We do a family bracket challenge that we do every year. Been doing it for literally as long as I can remember. I've won 1 year. You know what year it was? When Carmelo Anthony and Syracuse made it all the way and won the championship, because I was a big Carmelo Anthony fan for whatever reason at that age. Put them all the way through. They were, I believe, a 3 seed. Won it all. Yeah. When you only win once in 35 years of life, you remember it pretty darn well. Kirk Heinrich, Nick Collison were on the Kansas team. We could go on and on. It's a good bracket year for me. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. With that being said, when you get to the ACC tournament, some teams are playing for seeding in the NCAA tournament and obviously a conference championship. Some teams are playing to make sure they get into the NCAA tournament and obviously a conference championship. NC State, against all odds, I didn't think this is where they were going to be. They're playing to make sure they get into the NCAA tournament in addition to playing for a conference championship. And is it a fortuitous bounce or is it a bummer of a bounce that they're playing tomorrow? They got the first round bye in the ACC tournament. State did. And they are scheduled to play the winner of Pittsburgh-Stanford, which took place earlier today. Pittsburgh is the bottom seed, right? The last 3 teams in the ACC don't make the ACC tournament. So the bottom seed is number 15. Pitt was the 15th seed, is the 15th seed. Stanford, the 10th seed. The winner of that game plays State tomorrow. Pittsburgh upset Stanford. 64-63, came down to the wire. There was a game-winning tip-in with like 0.8 seconds left, a lot of reviews. Pittsburgh holds on to win 64-63. The fortuitous side would be State needs a win so gosh darn bad. Right? The way their season ended, they need a win, need a win, need a win. And logic would say the 15th seed is an easier win than Stanford. However, they also probably need wins that matter, right? They probably also need wins that come with a little bit more net ranking boost or KenPom boost or whatever you're looking for if they want to climb off the bubble and securely in. And Stanford, with 20 wins this year, would have been a much better win than Pittsburgh, who has 12 wins, or now 13 wins this year.
This will be a quad 3 game because Pitt is ranked in the net ratings 109. So neutral site, so it's a quad 3, whereas Stanford was ranked 59th in the net ratings, which would have put this as a neutral site quad 2 game.
Yep. And with a win, who knows? Stanford might have jumped up a little bit there. Mm-hmm. They might have to beat Virginia. Which would mean they beat Pitt and then are drawing Virginia. They might have to do both if they want to not sweat Selection Sunday. At this point, whether they lose this one, win this one, could be the difference on whether they get in or not. If they beat Pitt tomorrow, then beat Virginia, they're probably comfy and just looking for seeding and location. But goodness, is it a stressful ACC tournament for NC State. And again, their path will be Pittsburgh off their upset win of Stanford tomorrow at noon. Out there in the ACC tournament. Winner of that one faces Virginia in the quarterfinals, who that will be their debut. They will be riding the double bye, resting until Thursday when they face the winner of Pitt NC State.
By the way, NC State's ranked 35th in the net. They're ahead of Clemson, who's 36. They're ahead of SMU, who's 39. And SMU right now is currently playing against Syracuse. So, to me, I think State just needs to see one go through the hoop, if that makes sense. They just need to see they just need a win just to get used to that feeling again.
I've now started using NC State, right? I do some national radio and a guest on other podcasts or whatever. I've started using NC State as almost a reason to distrust some of the analytics, because the analytics keep telling me State is really good. And I keep watching them going, I don't see what the analytics are seeing here, right? They're every time they play a good team, and I'm talking about the last month, every time they play a good team, they get lit up. Every time they play a mediocre team, they lose in heartbreaking fashion. And that's nearly 100% true. Yet the analytics keep going like, actually, they're the 30th best team in the country. And I'm going, okay, I need to see it at some point. So maybe that's where I'm at. I'm at like the prove it section of NC State. If you're looking for Carolina, obviously they have a completely different setup, right? They, with the win over Clemson in their second to last game in the regular season, clinched a double bye, which is massive, right? They start in the quarterfinals on Thursday, where they will face – it's a little bit more complicated the way they do it, but today Virginia Tech will face Wake Forest. That's the number 12 versus number 13 seed ACC tournament matchup. Virginia Tech, Wake Forest today, 7 p.m. The winner of that one tomorrow in what will feel like the middle of the night, 9:30 p.m., will face Clemson. The winner of that will face Carolina the following night at 9:30 p.m. So Carolina actually got, I would say, a very strong draw to win in the quarterfinals. Because no disrespect to Virginia Tech, Wake Forest, or Clemson, but I would love to face a team that had to play at 9:30 the previous night at 9:30 the next night. And especially if it ends up being Virginia Tech or Wake, they would have played 3 days in a row. You get the advantage of a fatigued team from the night before, right? That anyone that's ever played a college sport, it's not like, 9:30 game, you're going to be done by 11:30, media done by midnight. You could be back at the hotel by 12:45. And it's like, well, yeah, then you got to lay in bed with your eyes racing because your adrenaline hasn't worn off until 3:15, and then the anxiety of I got to play tomorrow and it's 3:15. Why am I not asleep? Kicks in, and that keeps you up till 4. And then coach is calling for a walkthrough at 10. It's like, come on. It's
now the late game stinks.
The late game is tough. So
let's be honest. The first game before you drags a little long because of replays and all that stuff. Let's check the clock here. Before you know, the game's not tipping off till 9:45. And then even post-game, let's say the game ends at 11:45. Well, they keep the locker rooms open for a half hour after the game for media to come in. You got to do the podium and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, you're not getting out of there until like an hour and a half after the game at times.
It's
a lot.
It's a lot. So Carolina will deal with the negatives of that if they're able to win the quarterfinals when they play in the semifinals, which could be Duke if Duke takes care of Florida State or Cal. But they'll see the benefits of that when they play their quarterfinal game because whoever they face will be facing the negative impacts. But both of the, like Carolina's in, right? They're in the NCAA tournament. It's a seeding question. And with the injuries to Duke, it becomes a much more wide open opportunity. They might be able to grab and shock the conference with an ACC tournament win if they play up to their capabilities and play up to their potential, which I believe they have only had one since 2008, an ACC tournament championship for UNC, which
last one they've had was 2016.
So yeah, you're a program that should have more than one every 20 years. You know what I mean? So go get after it. If you can not even steal one, if you can win one, you're 3 games away.
I think they only have one this century. Actually, I'm sorry, 2. They won in 2007, 2008, and actually, I'm back 3. Only 3 this century, 2007, 2008, as well as 2016. 3 this century. NC State has won. I'm sorry, godly. You know what?
Do you want to start over? Or do you want to
reset this?
All right, there you go.
UNC has only won 3 ACC tournament championships this century. 2007, 2008, 2016. That's it. Which for UNC, that's not the standard of what you would expect for UNC basketball.
Not at all. And it goes to show how tough the ACC was there for a while because they also have 3 national championships this century.
Yeah.
So they're like, it's as difficult for Carolina to win a national championship as it is for them to win an ACC tournament championship this century.
They've also have lost in 7. So they've been to 10. They've lost in 7. So 3-7 in the ACC tournament championship.
That's wild. And this year, it became more likely for them to make it when because they would face Duke on Friday in the semifinals if both take care of business in the quarterfinals. They can definitely upset some people, and it became more likely when Duke dealt with some injuries.
Duke has won 13 this century. Duke is 13-3 in the ACC championship game.
I'm sure Carolina fans love you bringing up that comparison.
Hey, I'm just
3 versus
facts
13.
Are facts.
You're losing by 10 this century. But if I'm not mistaken, both 3 national championships,
which is what matters.
It
goes to show you how difficult the ACC is to win.
That's
my
point.
Crazy.
That is crazy. That's also just one of those things that might just be like a weird statistical anomaly.
Yeah.
But that's crazy. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, and we will get to the starting 5.
Maryland has a national champion. Or Maryland has an ACC champion.
And a national championship.
And a national championship.
They got one of each. They don't win the Big Ten, I'll tell you that much. How much better did you get by leaving Maryland, football and basketball?
You didn't.
Long for the days of Juan Dixon. Those are the ACC days. What was it? Steve Blake?
Mm-hmm.
ACC days.
Oh, Juan Dixon.
Grievous Vasquez. You want to go guys naming dudes?
Go.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We will get to the starting 5, but first, Dennis with a message.
Hey, Dennis Cox here for my good friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. I know a lot of people are really, truly want to be serious about the weight loss journey, but I know there's a lot of fear out there when it comes to their approach for weight loss. And Raleigh Weight Loss Center wants to put all those fears aside. By the way, I lost over 42 pounds thanks to Raleigh Weight Loss Center, over 15% of my body weight. And at no point did I have a shot, an injection, have to take a drug, a steroid, or anything along those lines, no surgery. I know a lot of people have that fear when it comes to weight loss journey and weight loss programs. Do I need to do the shots or the injections and have those nasty side effects or all those kinds of things? Guess what? You don't. Not with Raleigh Weight Loss Center. That's why you got to give them a call, 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Folks, I'm living, breathing, walking proof that I know the program can work because I see it every day when I look in the mirror. And I see the weight that I've lost and I think about what I was just a few months ago. And I can feel it in my body on a daily basis, the weight that I've lost. And just how much easier and things have gotten in my daily life thanks to Raleigh Weight Loss Center. Give them a call, 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. I'm not just reading copy here. I'm literally just speaking from true experience. If you're serious about the weight loss journey, give them a call. Contact them. By the way, one of the things that actually about Raleigh Weight Loss Center and their whole program of restarting and just jump-starting your metabolism, I was able to maintain my muscle mass. Some of these weight loss programs, you lose fat, but you also lose muscle mass as well. I was able to maintain my muscle mass thanks to Raleigh Weight Loss Center and their program. 919-897-7506. Give them a call. Set up a free 15-minute phone consultation. By the way, first 50 callers that sign up get $100 off. So call now. Visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Results may vary.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, gets to the starting 5 coming up.
Listen every afternoon for The Drive with Tim Donnelly.
There's an overlap in the middle of a professional athlete's career where their body is still young enough to keep up with everything physical, yet their experience is enough that their mind feels like they've seen everything 3 times. After the Olympics, that's Sebastian Aho. He led Finland to the bronze medal. He's young enough. Now is the time for him to be and stay in his prime.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 3 to 6 on 99.9 The Fan.
This is Ray Womble Jr. from J.E. Womble & Sons in Lillington. Spring is almost here and grass cutting will be in full force. Bobcat zero-turn mowers will make your lawn maintenance so much easier. We're offering up to a $1,250 instant rebate and 0% financing on select Bobcat mowers. Now is the time to upgrade to a brand new Bobcat that brings tough to turf. And remember, If J.E. Wombly & Sons doesn't have it, you don't need it.
If you're exhausted, not just tired, but worn down, this message is for you. I'm Brandon Giggling, president of Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Across North Carolina, many people wait months, sometimes over a year, just to start sleep care. That wait isn't normal, and it isn't necessary. At Parkway, most patients are seen within weeks, with virtual consultations and home sleep studies that remove unnecessary delays. Sleep care shouldn't have to depend on how long you're willing to wait.
Parkway Sleep, your fastest path to better sleep. Start today at parkwaysleep.com. Sound sleep, sound health.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply or price stopped, opt out.
Hey man, how did the date go?
I had to cancel. I don't get paid until Friday.
You didn't know that you can get up to a $750 paycheck advance with the current app?
Where was that information yesterday?
Just text them, see if you qualify. $750? Boom! And right now, they're offering a $75 bonus when you set up an eligible direct deposit.
Think I should call her back?
Yeah.
Need money before payday? Current has you covered. Set up an eligible direct deposit to see if you qualify for a paycheck advance of up to $750. Hurry and receive an extra $75 sign-up bonus right now. Text BETTER to 323232. That's BETTER to 323232. BETTER to 323232.
Paycheck advance is offered by FindCo Advance LLC, a financial technology company, not an FDIC-insured bank. Eligibility and available amounts may vary and are subject to change at any time. For full terms and conditions, visit current.com/radio or call 1-888-851-3177 for more information.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here for my friends at Buffalo Brothers. It's the best time of the year for college basketball, and Buffalo Brothers is a slam dunk. Best place in the Triangle to watch all the big games. They always have great drink specials, and check this out. Every Monday, half-price wings all day. That's half-price wings all day Monday. Dine in only. Now that's a deal, baby. Check out any of their 5 Triangle locations or online at buffbrothers.com. Aw, man! Now I want wings!
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Getting hurt in a car wreck comes with all kinds of stress and frustration. But when you call me, I'll be on top of all of it. So all you need to worry about is getting better. If you've been injured in a car wreck, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm WRAL meteorologist Mike Mays. We had a record high this afternoon. We've got another one coming up for the day on Wednesday. Warmer tonight. Will go partly cloudy, 62 the low. Partly cloudy and breezy for your Wednesday. The high, 87 degrees.
Weather update brought to you by Give UNC. Give UNC is back Tuesday, March 24th. Get ready to leave your mark at giveunc.unc.edu. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones at the closing bell today, down 34 points to 47,706.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting 5.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is 5 o'clock, and that means it is time for the starting 5. As always, we start with number 5.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The ACC Tournament, men's basketball, is underway in Charlotte. Dennis and I will be on location starting tomorrow's show, and then for the rest of the week, we'll be doing our shows from Charlotte. The games, I mean, we're not there because the teams from the Triangle all earned at least a 1-game bye. However, the games have started. Pittsburgh beat Stanford in an upset. That's a 15 seed in the ACC over a 10 seed. It came down to the wire. It was a good, chaotic start to the ACC tournament. Pittsburgh won 64-63 on a last-second tip-in. As it stands right now, SMU and Syracuse, that is 14th seeded Syracuse and 11th seeded SMU. SMU really fell to be 11th in the ACC. They were up there early in the season. But SMU is currently leading 27-23 is the score. Boopy Miller, who we know well from his time at Wake Forest, having himself a nice little start. 11 points on 4 of 6 shooting. SMU only with 27 overall points, so he's filling it up early. We'll keep you updated on that one. If you are looking for when the local teams get started, NC State will face Pitt after Pitt beats Stanford tomorrow at noon. You can hear that, Dennis, where?
Mix 101.5.
Beautiful. And then you can also tune into this show at 3. We'll be on location, grabbing sound and everything, and then talking about that game at 3 o'clock. Duke and Carolina, they both have double byes, so they won't play until Thursday. Duke plays first at 7 p.m. against the winner of Florida State and California. And North Carolina plays at 9:30 p.m. on Thursday. They'll play the winner of the Virginia Tech Wake Forest game and Clemson.
So, by the way, NC State, again, noon tip-off tomorrow. You can listen to that on Mix 101.5. So after you get done listening over there or watching the game, whatever it might be, flip on over to us, like you said, at 3 o'clock. We'll have reaction from that game. Then also, we'll walk you up till 6:30 tomorrow, right into tip-off of the evening game. So we'll have the evening games right here on 99.9 The Fan. And then at noon on Thursday, right here on The Fan, we have ACC basketball once again for you.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Dennis. That's number 5. Let's get to number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, all together.
We will get to the Carolina Panthers free agents later in the starting 5. The NFL free agents, meaning the biggest stories from around the league, are quite interesting. First of all, Dennis, your Steelers get to keep rooting for Rico Dowdle.
I guess I do. It's interesting. He said he wanted to go to a place where he could be the guy that gets the bulk of the carries. Hey, you're not going to get that in Pittsburgh with Jaylen Warren.
They did move on from, who's the other guy? The guy that went to Tampa.
Isaiah Gainwell?
It is Gainwell.
Yes.
Kenny Gainwell.
Kenny Gainwell.
Isaiah Gainwell.
I'm thinking Isaiah Pacheco.
That's his cousin. Yes, Isaiah Pacheco ends up playing the David Montgomery role in Detroit. There's a lot of movement, which is, by the way, like what we're used to seeing at this point in time. Any ones that stood out to you? Do you know what stood out to me? And it's not just because it's in the Panthers division, although that's obviously part of the story. Or actually, it's no longer in the Panthers division. Mike Evans going to San Fran. And by the way, his contract ended up being a lot of funny money. It's like a 1-year, $16 million deal, although it looks bigger than that on a long-term scale. I think he took significantly less than he could have gotten to go play for Kyle Shanahan and with Brock Purdy and maybe try to win another ring that he thinks is possible with San Fran. That one's fascinating to me because I always thought Mike Evans was going to be for once, forever, for always Tampa Bay Buccaneer. The biggest contracts, Jalen Phillips with the Panthers, Alec Pierce, actually if we go by average annual value, Alec Pierce, wide receiver with the Colts, Tyler Linderbaum, center with the Raiders. More and more what you see, and this is kind of my overarching thought here, is, and I don't think this is the right way to go about it, but it is what it is. I think job security has as much to do with these decisions as how good you think the players are. If you are a front office, if you are a GM, if you are a head coach, and you think you have job security, I think you are routinely making better decisions. If you are a player, a coach, whatever it is, and maybe you don't have the job security, not player, a GM or coach, whatever it is, and you don't have the job security, I think you're way more inclined to overspend, take ridiculous swings, and maybe set yourself up for a bad situation. And also, if you have a young quarterback, you build around him. Things like Romeo Doubs going for a bunch of money to the Patriots, that's to help Drake May. Everything that the Raiders are doing is to potentially help Fernando Mendoza when they draft him. So, there's motivations behind everything. It's not just, they like that player. It's, especially if you're spending top dollar, you have to not only get value for that player, like, it's almost impossible for me to imagine Alec Pierce giving you $30 million per year in value with just like the catches and touchdowns he scores. But if Alec Pierce, his impact on the defense involves loosening the secondary, thus Jonathan Taylor can run for more, Or if his big playability makes it so Daniel Jones, who could be returning, builds his confidence back up. Like, you have to find the other impacts, or else you're just not going to get like $100 million in 4 years out of Alec Pierce. So you look for that as well. If you can unlock a quarterback, yeah, you're going to get paid more. Just a few observations there. Maybe we'll do a winners and losers at some point, because some guys just got paid a little bit more than I thought they should. That is number 4. Let's get to number 3.
Aho takes it away from Farabee. Now Hall sent across Walker. He scores! There's a spark. Sean Walker continues his point streak, and his 6th of the year has Carolina down by 2.
Carolina Hurricanes are hosting the Pittsburgh Penguins tonight. 7 o'clock puck drop, which means 6:30 Storm Watch with Adam Gold here on 99.9 The Fan, and then the game to follow. Freddie Anderson expected to be in net. Shane Gostisbehere still out with the injury. Not sure how long that will keep him out, but he will not be playing tonight. I believe that means we'll get Mike Riley. And I believe
once again.
And I believe that means we will get Alexander Nikishin on Power Play 1.
Yeah, that is correct.
Dennis put you on the spot. Although it's not really, I always say I'm putting you on the spot. You know what's coming by this point.
Do I?
If-then statement. If blank happens, then the Carolina Hurricanes defeat the Penguins.
I think if the Stankoven, Hall, Blake line, if they combine for the course of the game, if those 3 combine to have 2 goals, Canes win.
Say this again?
So if the Stankoven, Hall, and Blake line, those 3 guys combine to have 2 goals, Canes win.
Just talking goals, not points or anything like that.
Just goals.
All right.
That could come on the power play, even strength, whatever it might be. As long as those 3 guys, if they combine for 2 goals, Canes are winning.
They've been buzzing. They've been really good. If you give me a choice, I think it would be nice if Stankoven scored a goal.
Would love it.
If you give me the choice, obviously you'd take him from any of the 3. But Stankoven does just seem like, a nice little hot stretch could do a lot for him. We talked about it earlier. They have, 4 guys that have scored 20 goals. Jackson Blake is sitting at 19, so he could obviously be the next guy there. Jackson Blake, year over year, now has a new career high in points. I believe his most recent goal gave him a new career high in goals.
Yep.
Still just 23 years old. 22. Mm-hmm. He will be 23. Logan Stankoven just turned 23 years old. What does the future look like for that guy? What does the future look like for Jackson Blake, knowing his contract extension, which goes on forever, it seems, still hasn't even kicked in yet?
I think the future for him, you're looking at a consistent 25, 50-point guy, 25-goal, 50-point guy.
I think, and the occasional 60-point season. Yep.
And you might be able to get that. And you know what? For a middle 6 winger that's making less than $6 million a year to get that consistent level of production, he might even eventually, in a few years from now, might push to be a 30-goal scorer.
Yeah, I think that's well within the realms of in the range of outcomes. That's well there. It's there are a few guys on this team that feel older than they are. Like when they take their helmets off, you see them, you go, oh yeah, you're very young. But they feel younger than they are. So I remind people constantly, like, Jackson Blake is very young. He's a good amount younger than like Alexander Nikishin. But they seem almost, Jackson Blake seems older than Nikishin just because he's been around the Canes longer. Very young. That is number 3. How about number 2?
Just the 2 of us. I feel great about playing football right now.
Probably feel a little bit better today than you did 2 days ago there, Dave Canales. The Carolina Panthers, I brought up the list. They have the highest paid as far as total contract value and average annual value, third highest in total guarantees. Free agent that has agreed to a deal since tampering opened up yesterday. Jalen Phillips with 120 total value on his contract is the highest. 30 average annual value is the highest. 80 total guarantees is behind just Alec Pierce and Tyler Linderbaum. But also not like another top 20 guy as far as average annual value on this year's free agency class. Devin Lloyd, linebacker, off ball, agreed to terms later yesterday. if you look at off-ball linebackers, $15 million per on a 3-year deal is not like crazy break-the-bank money. That is what Nick Bolton's getting. That's what a few other guys have gotten who are solid, super solid starters, but not necessarily all pros, right? Like the Fred Warners of the world are over $20 million per year.
Yeah, Warner makes 21, Roquan Smith makes 20, Zach Bond makes 17, Devin Lloyd and Nick Bolton are tied for 15 per year.
There you go.
Along with Jamie and
Yep,
Sherwood.
I was avoiding that pronunciation as well.
Yep.
And he got less guaranteed money, I believe, than both of those guys. So it is, if you look at it, it's like the 8th off-ball linebacker, 7th off-ball linebacker contract in the NFL, but it's the most recent signed, which means, it should be judged a little bit different than those others. So I think they did a really good job in negotiations with Devin Lloyd. I think they did Godfather offer strategy for Jalen Phillips, where they didn't want him to hear from others. They didn't want him to wade into the tampering period. They wanted his commitment the first hour, so they made a real big offer. And then Devin Lloyd, they played the game very well. So it's a little bit of everything. And then Kenny Pickett, also on a 1-year, $7.5 million deal. Kenny Pickett, former first-rounder of the Steelers, quarterback. I believe this is going to be his 5th year in the league, and it'll be his 5th different team. That is a chaotic first-round picks career.
Are we counting the Browns that he didn't actually play for because he was with the Browns in the offseason and then they traded him to the Raiders? We counting that too?
I guess you have to, right?
Yeah, but he not even actually was on the roster on a game day for him.
But he, started crunching the playbook and things, started getting prepared, which is really what you worry about with young quarterbacks is like too many coordinators, too many offenses. They get a little confused. They start doing the what is it? Translation thing in their head, where the quarterback, the coach goes like, "All right, give us a X Louis Ralph," and then he's going X Louis Ralph. All right, back on my first team that was called Oklahoma Raven. Okay, all right, yeah, I know Oklahoma Raven, and then by that it's too late, right? You need to just think in that language. And I made all that up, by the way. That was complete gibberish. Pickett's probably looking for a little bit of stability. Perhaps he can be a guy that grows with Bryce Young. I like that when there's a player similar age that's just like good vibes and good in the room, and they can, grow old together if you can. But first you got to decide if you want to grow old with Bryce Young, but that's a completely separate category. Separate conversation for another day. Dennis, what do you think of, I'll call it I know they signed Isaiah Simmons back. I know they agreed with David Moore today. I know they had, Robert Rochelle and Caleb Evans, couple of special teams, depth corners earlier, but let's eliminate those guys, right? They're not moving the needle a ton for me, everybody I just mentioned. Yeah. Jalen Phillips, Devin Lloyd, Kenny Pickett, Carolina Panthers free agency class thus far. What are your takeaways?
Kenny Pickett, in my eyes, that's kind of a non-factor. He's a backup quarterback.
$7.5 million, though. That's
very true.
That's
but
money.
To me, it's in terms of what impact he's going to have on the field, it's not much of a factor in my eyes.
Okay.
Because if Bryce is hurt, you're bleeped anyway. So that's how I view it. But nonetheless, the fact that you spent or are going to spend the money that you have with Jalen Phillips as well as Devin Lloyd and the money and resources that you've already put into that front seven before those two guys have arrived, you've put a ton of money and a ton of high draft capital in the front seven of your defense. There is no reason why that the front seven and just that defense as a whole for the Carolina Panthers shouldn't be the feared Panthers defense that we saw 10 years ago. There's no reason for that now because you got dudes now. Now, do you have a Luke Kuechly? No, you don't. Not saying Devin Lloyd is that guy. But my point is this. You have put every resource that you can to help that defense the last couple of off seasons now. Every resource. Not just, hey, let's draft like a fifth-round guy and let's just see how it pans out as a developmental piece. You already had Derek Brown, who's one of the best, if not the best, run-stopping defensive lineman in the NFL. You paid high top-end money for Phillips. You paid top-end money for Lloyd. You got second- and third-round picks with Umar Mielen and Scorton. And you also pay big money to Tershawn Wharton as well. Yeah, that better be a dominant front seven. It better be. You can't finish 27th in sack rate.
The only thing I'll push back on is the bar has to be a little lower than like 2015 Carolina Panthers.
No.
Give some respect to an all-time great defense.
But I'm talking, like, again, the fear that a defense puts into another team. That's the last time we saw the Panthers defense truly feared by an opponent.
Yeah, it's just,
It's a mindset. It's like, oh, crap, we got to pay that defense?
Jalen Phillips is a monster. Physically, he is a beast. You hope he lives up to all of the super high expectations. I don't know if you can go like, unless he's Julius Peppers. Devin Lloyd is awesome. He's not Luke Kuechly. And that's because nobody is. That's not an insult to Devin Lloyd. But I am very excited based on the fact that they found a way to do all this under the cap. That's a lot of spending, and I didn't think they were going to be the big spenders at the deadline. At the deadline means when it opened up, not at the deadline. That is, what was that, number 2? Let's get to number 1.
Go one! To the left, it's Isaiah Evans. Now it's Cameron Boozer, left side of the paint. Finds it cross court. It's Tom Asar. Good again! A 3 from the right corner. Tame with 2 threes, and the lead is 9.
There was, for the entire year, I don't want to say a dirty little secret, but there was like a hot streak that Duke basketball fans did not want to say out loud. And that was that they had, for the most part, avoided every kind of injury. They may have had like a Patrick Gungba set out for a game or two, right? There may have been, Cameron Boozer got poked in the eye and had to go to the bench for a little bit. But they really avoided the injuries that a lot of teams had to deal with. And it was like, second reference to this, is a little no-hitter like, right? Nobody wanted to say out loud at the risk of upsetting the basketball gods. Well, if you believe in basketball gods, they got petty, and they decided to deal Duke a few challenges for the postseason. Caleb Foster and Patrick Gungba will not be there in the ACC tournament. Their hope for the NCAA tournament, a little different. Big Pat, as they call him, they're hopeful and maybe borderline expecting him back at the beginning of the NCAA tournament. Caleb Foster, they are hoping that they can make it to a Final Four without him, and they are hoping that he could fight to be available in some form or fashion during that Final Four. But don't believe me, let's hear it from Jon Scheyer. Jon Scheyer, the head coach of Duke, earlier today spoke to the media, and he gave an update. We'll start with the update on Gumba and his ACC tournament status.
Well, I don't think we have a crystal ball in terms of you rest 5 days and the 6th day he's ready. I think there's a little bit of it where you want to make sure he feels as best as possible. But our intention is for him to play in the tournament. I mean, that's the intention. And we'll cross that bridge next week to, really see, how he's feeling and making sure that just his soreness is down. But he's going to play. It's a matter of when, and our expectation is it's going to be at the beginning of the tournament.
That's the update on Pat Gungba. Let's go ahead and obviously I gave you the update on Caleb Foster. He will not be playing in the ACC tournament, and it's depending who you kind of talk to, some form of a possibility, whether long shot or otherwise, to play in the Final Four if they make it, which is a big if. But in the meantime, they're going to have to figure out who's going to handle the ball, right? Caleb Foster had been doing a lot of the initiations of their offense. Here's Jon Scheyer on how they handle ball handling duties with Caleb Foster not available.
It's a little bit what we've done. It's by committee. I think it's not going to be just one guy. And when Caden's out of the game, when and if he's out of the game, I think the fact of us having multiple ball handlers, that's where it's really going to come in handy. Literally 1 through 5 can initiate offense and bring up the ball. And so that's something we're going to work on today, frankly.
There you go. They got to figure it out. Luckily, they have a bunch of, I say this about Duke, Carolina, all the blue bloods, right? They don't have 5 stars get hurt and bring in 2 stars. They have 5 stars get hurt, and you got to go to the 24th overall recruit point guard from the most recent class, Caden Boozer, to bring the ball up. That's definite first world problems, right? That's high class problems, first class problems that a lot of other teams would love to deal with. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Their ACC tournament run doesn't start till Thursday with the double bye, so they have a little bit of time to figure some things out. We do have a numbers game, and we have a new prize for you. But before I tell you all about that, Dennis Cox has something he'd like to tell you.
I do. Dennis Cox here real quick for Loan Pronto. Folks, are you tired of getting hammered by high interest debt? Maybe your mortgage is over 6%, credit cards and car loans at 10, 20%. Well, Loan Pronto is here with the answer you've been waiting on, the all-in home refi. One fast, easy solution to lock in the lowest rate in 3 years and wipe out all those nasty loans. One homeowner got their APR down to 4.99%. They paid off over $80,000 in high interest loans and saved over $2,000 a month. And listen, while some lenders charge up to $10,000 in fees to do this, Loan Pronto's cost is just $995. $995, you could wipe out your high-interest loans all at once. It's the all-in refi from Loan Pronto. Super fast, super cheap, no hard credit pull up front, often no appraisal, and you can even skip your next 2 house payments. Loan Pronto, A+ BBB rated with nearly 3,000 5-star Google reviews. Call now and ask about the all-new all-in refi. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. Visit NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan needs numbers game contestants. So call right now for your chance to not only win the numbers game, but potentially win a pair of tickets to see Dave Matthews Band at Coastal Credit Union Music Park on Friday, June 5th. That's all you got. That's all I got for Dave Matthews. Just bad impression. But if you want to hear the real thing, go ahead and give us a call. 919-860-5326. 919-860-5326 for your chance to play the numbers game and potentially win a pair of tickets to the Dave Matthews Band at Coastal Credit Union Music Park this June. Call in now. Numbers game next.
Listen for the Get That Out of Here's.
Rejected. Cameron Boozer got a piece. Get that out of there.
The deep looks from downtown.
Arsenault, pull up 3, top of the arc. Buries it.
They got postered.
Shot is up, missed. Hammer time. Put back jam by Lubin.
The road to Indianapolis runs through 99.9. The Fan, driven by Fast Park and Relax, Chapel Hill Tire and Roof Works.
It's bow time.
Finally, lunchtime. I'm starving.
What's that?
This is the Bojangler from Bojangles.
Ooh, with the same bold flavor as their chicken?
The same.
And fries.
The same.
Huh. Well, I've got a PB&J.
Yeah, that's not the same.
A crispy fish fillet dusted in Bo's famous seasoning. With cheese and tartar sauce on a fluffy bun, the Bojangler's back. Hook one while you can. It's bow time.
There's bow time, and then there's Bojangler time. You heard right. The Bojangler fish fillet sandwich is back for limited time at participating Bojangles. A light, flaky, perfectly seasoned fish fillet with lettuce, cheese, and tartar sauce tucked inside a bun. Make it a combo and add Bojangles seasoned fries and legendary iced tea. Hungry for Bojangles but in the mood for something different? Then it's Bojangler time.
If you're ready to give your home a fun facelift, I know just the place to visit. I'm Victoria Vodnecker here for Atlantic Spas and Billiards, which is a unique store that has a tremendous selection of indoor and outdoor games, like foosball, shuffleboard, table tennis, and so much more. In addition to a billiard and dart pro shop, plus they have a grill selection just in time for grilling season. And don't worry about getting it all home because they'll deliver it right to your doorstep. Serving the Raleigh area for over 39 years, come visit Atlantic Spas and Billiards today.
Global Golf, Carolina's home to the largest selection of pre-owned golf gear, is having a 2-day sidewalk sale this Friday and Saturday only with huge deals. Drivers starting at $50, apparel starting at $25, shoes starting at $40, and golf bags starting at $50. Only at the Global Golf Outlet Store, located on 7320 ACC Boulevard, North Raleigh. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6. Global Golf, home of the best deals in golf.
Hi friends, this is Mark Pons with Chapel Hill Tire. Spring is here and it's the perfect time to upgrade your ride. Right now at Chapel Hill Tire, get free installation when you purchase a set of Michelin, Pirelli, and Continental tires. That means expert installation from a team that takes pride in the work so you can drive with confidence all season long. With 13 locations across Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, Carrboro, Apex, and Cary, there's always a Chapel Hill Tire close by. Schedule your appointment today at chapelhilltire.com and drive happy.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. Our prize for today, as mentioned earlier, Dave Matthews Band tickets when they come to the area. June 5th, Coastal Credit Union Music Park. The contestants for today, as my computer lags, the contestants for today, I'll go another way with it, Lee in Apex and Henry in Chapel Hill. They'll be battling it out in jersey number trivia, and one of them will win the prize. All right, we're close. It's almost loaded. There we go. We made it. As always, we'll bring each of them onto the show one at a time and ask them the same question. Dennis will pick his favorite answer. That person will get to go first. We'll start with Lee. Lee, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. I've long said that one of the tickets that everybody should be clamoring for that very rarely gets brought up with, hey, you get a ticket to any one sporting event would be the ACC Tournament, particularly the semifinals. We can watch those back-to-back games, and they're usually great. So I'm taking the ACC Tournament out because I just basically told you that would be my answer. What's a sporting event that if you could pick any sporting event, you want a ticket to that event?
The Masters. I've never been. I want to go so bad.
All right, I'm with it. It's mentioned a lot, but it's mentioned a lot for a reason. Lee, you're locked in with the Masters. Let's go to Henry in Chapel Hill. Henry, can you hear me?
I can.
All right, same question to you. ACC Tournament not allowed because we're all thinking about it right now. If you could have a ticket to any sporting event, what would you cash that ticket in for?
The Super Bowl.
All right, Super Bowl it is. Dennis, any follow-ups for either of them? I failed to ask you. There you go. All right, you rolling to the Masters, you rolling to the Super Bowl?
That's not going to lie. Those are two very high on my list.
The Super Bowl, it's not for me. And that's based on, I've never been, but I've been for like the lead up to, but I've never been to the game. I've heard a lot about it being super corporate, and there's not even a ton of fans for like the two teams, and it's very like hoity-toity.
Yeah,
and you might like it more where you have like access to finger foods and you can watch on your couch.
It can be a bit of a buzzkill, I would say, because like you mentioned, it's a whole bunch of corporate sponsor and all that kind of stuff.
But let's not act like the everyman is walking around the Masters either.
That's also very true, and it's also very difficult to get into both. I will say this though, is that at least the Super Bowl going into the Super Bowl. Now, I'm assuming just Masters is just the Masters as a whole, or are you talking Masters Sunday?
I think you probably got to pick a day, and he'd pick Sunday.
Sunday. There might not be a lot of drama Masters Sunday. At least when the ball kicks off for a Super Bowl, be like, all right, I don't know what's going to happen here today. So I'm probably going to lean towards Super Bowl.
All right. Henry,
sometimes golf can be, I don't know.
Lee, I would have gone with you, but Henry, the actual judge, Dennis, picked you. So you get to go first. Henry, are you ready to pick a category?
I am.
All right. By the way, Lee, you'll have your chance. Just sit on hold for a second. We have 3 categories for you to choose from today. They are NFL Panthers throughout history, NFL players from the 2021 draft class, or NHL Hurricanes throughout history.
NFL players from the 2001 draft or whatever.
Okay, it is the 2021 draft class, so you don't have to go 25 years back, just 5 years back. I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. 1 pass if you need it. Do you have any questions before we get started? Nope. All right. Then we'll go ahead and jump into it. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Trevor Lawrence, Jacksonville Jaguars.
16.
Correct. Kyle Pitts, Atlanta Falcons.
8.
Correct. Devontae Smith, Philadelphia Eagles.
6.
Correct. Najee Harris, Pittsburgh Steelers.
Skip.
Mac Jones, New England Patriots.
10.
Correct. Najee Harris, Pittsburgh Steelers.
85.
Incorrect. Najee Harris, Pittsburgh Steelers.
22.
Correct. That's a perfect score.
23 and a half seconds.
23 and a half seconds. When you said 85 for Najee Harris, I went, oh, he's not going to get it. He's way off. But then 85 to 22 is a wild jump. Congratulations, Henry. Perfect score. All right, Henry. Go ahead and stay on the line.
Man, a few words. Other than numbers, man, a few words.
Yeah, I guess he doesn't have to say anything else. But 23 and a half seconds, it is not like the fastest time we've ever seen. And if Lee jumps on here and has a perfect score in faster time, he will win the tickets. Lee, are you ready to give it a go?
I'm ready. I'll do the Panthers category.
All right. I like the confidence. I like the decisiveness. You do need a perfect score here, so as quick as you can. But even if you don't get it in the time, keep going because a perfect score comes with other benefits. I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. Again, you need all 5. Do you have any questions before we get started?
No.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Christian McCaffrey, Carolina Panthers.
23.
Incorrect. Devin Funchess, Carolina Panthers.
17.
Correct. Sam Mills, Carolina Panthers.
55.
Incorrect. Christian McCaffrey, Carolina Panthers.
23.
Incorrect. Sam Mills, Carolina Panthers.
50.
Incorrect. Christian McCaffrey, Carolina Panthers.
22.
Correct. Kerry Collins, Carolina Panthers.
8.
Incorrect. Sam Mills, Carolina Panthers.
52.
Incorrect. You were in the right neighborhood with Sam Mills. You got CMC with 22. You got Funchess, which is a good pull with 17. Sam Mills, 51, and Kerry Collins, 12 is what we were looking for. Unfortunately, not enough for the win, but hopefully you had some fun.
I did, yeah. Congrats to the winner. Thanks, guys.
And I'm rooting for you to win the lottery and go to the Masters because they give their tickets away in the lottery. Henry is the winner, though. Henry, congratulations.
Thank you.
No lottery necessary for you to get tickets to see Dave Matthews Band. Coastal Credit Union Music Park on Friday, June 5th. February, June 5th is what I wanted to say. Friday, June 5th. Perfect score as well, so make sure Dennis gets your info, and you'll get all the trappings that come with that. Congrats.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Look at that. Perfect score. The way he answered the very first one, I said Trevor Lawrence. He was like, 16. I was like, oh, he's into it. We got a chance here. Didn't go quite as quick or aggressive on the others, but still 23 and a half. That's a very good perfect score time there. So congratulations to Henry. Not coming with tickets to the Super Bowl, but tickets to Coastal Credit Union Music Park for Dave Matthews. Pretty darn good. For the rest of you, talk about events that could really change your life. Get in on the madness with the Fans Basketball Mayhem Bracket Challenge. Fill out your picks, and here's part of that life-changing stuff here. If you beat the odds with a perfect bracket, you score the $1 million national prize. If you dominate our local leaderboard and pocket $500 for being the best in the triangle, that's pretty darn good too. The Fans Basketball Mayhem Bracket Challenge, as it's being called, is presented by the North Carolina Courage. So go ahead and take your shot at the $1 million national prize. Take your shot at the $500 prize for being the best in the triangle, and register now at 999thefan.com. That's 999thefan.com. And for the, I know a lot of people absolutely love the numbers game. I hear it from you all the time on social media, in person. Numbers game has a very strong following. For the rest of the week, we will not have the numbers game. The delay that comes with us being on remote, because we're going to be at the ACC tournament, just makes it a little bit more difficult, and I don't want to mess any of y'all over. I don't want it to be us talking over each other because I think you don't hear me, you think I don't hear you, and then your time's up. So no numbers game for the rest of this week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but we'll start back up on Monday. It's not going anywhere. Just when we are up there in Charlotte for the ACC tournament, there will be a hint. There will be a little bit of a hiatus for the numbers game. So Henry will be the reigning champion for almost a week till next Monday. He can celebrate that one. Also, personal favorite time, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, 99.9 The Fan. When we go on remotes, like we're going to Charlotte for the ACC tournament, Dennis, he carries a whole bunch of equipment. He brings the cameras. He brings the equipment. He does all of it. He's got this big suitcase that he's lugging all over the place. We do that so our YouTube live stream can come with us. And with that, we would really, really appreciate it if y'all would subscribe to our YouTube. Like I said, we put a lot of work into it. We put a lot of content up there, whether it's podcasts, Pack Therapy, the podcast, Panthers Playbook, Canes Corner. It's all up there, and much, much more. So check it out, 99.9 The Fan on YouTube or 99.9 The Fan, the app, which you can download Google Play or App Store, completely free to you. And if you don't mind, throw us a little 5-star rating. Would be awesome. It is the second half of the ACC tournament game going on right now. Syracuse and SMU, which SMU is the higher seed. They are the 11 seed. Syracuse the 14 seed. SMU, the higher seed, does lead 51-42. About 15 minutes left in the second half there. SMU started on a good little run in the second half to put a little distance between them. We'll see if they can hold off the Syracuse Orange. With that going on, before we go on to a conversation about the Canes, which you can hear tonight on 99.9 The Fan, Dennis has something he'd like to tell you.
I do. Dennis Cox here for my good friends over at Law Tigers. And speaking of the Carolina Hurricanes, the Law Tigers are once again teaming up with your Carolina Hurricanes to give one lucky Caniac a custom Canes Ducati motorcycle. It's courtesy of Art Moto Garage and Shiny Side Paint. The motorcycle it's a beautiful V4 Ducati. That's what I said, a custom Canes Ducati motorcycle. It can be yours, folks. Just go to caniacsbike.com. Can't win unless you play, so go play. Go to caniacsbike.com. Tell your family members to enter in. Tell your friends to enter in. That way everyone gets a shot of winning. And if your friend wins, let them borrow it, you know? Have them tell you to borrow it. Go enjoy the ride as well. By the way, the bike will be given away live on the ice April 4th at the game. April 4th. Live on the ice, the bike will be given away, and it includes tickets into a catered suite as well. So that's even more of a reason to enter. Go to caniacsbike.com. You'll see pictures of the bike. That's where you enter to win. It literally takes a minute. You can do it on your phone, do it on your computer, doesn't matter where. caniacsbike.com. Enter for your chance to win. Bike will be given away, again, April 4th, with the deadline to enter March 29th, so you're less than 3 weeks away. Don't wait, folks. caniacsbike.com. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, looks towards Canes tonight, hosting Pittsburgh next.
Hey, Carolina Panthers fans, it's Dennis Cox from 99.9 The Fan.
And me, Chris Lee from WRAL TV.
We're in the offseason, but our podcast, Panthers Playbook, presented by Wake Orthopedics, rolls on.
In every episode, we'll keep you up to date on Panthers news as the NFL Draft approaches.
Insights on free agents and prospects.
Plus all the insider info on who the Panthers want to pick at number 19.
Follow and subscribe to Panthers Playbook wherever you discover your favorite podcasts or watch on YouTube.
Doesn't the North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club give the best massages?
I've never felt so relaxed.
Thanks to this month's scratch-offs, this is our life now.
It's like winning again and again and again.
This month's scratch-offs pack over $200 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.49 to 4.37. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. bonus.
Organize easy. Organize tough. Customize your work truck or van with upfit solutions from Van Products. Steel and aluminum shelving, toolboxes, data files, cabinets, drawers, conduit carriers, ladder racks, everything safe and secure. Everything built as unbreakable as you by Adrian Steel. Backed by the best warranty in the business. 3 years, 36,000 miles. Everything custom installed by Van Products so you know it's done right. From a single work rig to a fleet, choose custom installed upfit solutions from Van Products.
I'm Tiffany, founder of Harlem Pilates. When I couldn't find Pilates in my neighborhood, I started a studio from my studio apartment. Chase Inc. helped me grow from 1 Pilates studio to 3. Because when you start small, you're going to need some big help.
With the Chase Inc. Business Cash Card, you can earn up to 5% cash back on business essentials, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for business. Make more with yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The Carolina Hurricanes are currently 40-17-6. They are atop the Metropolitan. They are atop the Eastern Conference. They are also, tonight, hosting the Pittsburgh Penguins at 7 o'clock in the Lenovo Center. It is...
By the way, the Penguins that are 8 points back of them in the Metro.
True.
Without Crosby and Evgeny Malkin.
Yeah, I saw, and was it Hayes is also hurt for them?
Yeah, he might be. They're beat up right now.
I saw somebody that said after their morning skate, the guys that then went out there to skate, like you're hurt and you're rehabbing, you might want to test some things. They had like 3,000 NHL games out there skating after morning skate of experience. Like that's hilarious and unreal. This is a cautionary tale, not to be mean. You did just lose to Calgary, right?
True.
So you better show up and play your game. And one of your, I would say, steadiest players went healthy, although you can't call him one of your steadiest players for the Carolina Hurricanes because just availability hasn't been there all season. Shane Gostisbehere not expected to play in this one. Still dealing with the injury that been, it popped up recently, but it's, we don't know how long it's going to keep him out. Dennis, let me ask you this. At the trade deadline, there was obviously a ton of talk about the Carolina Hurricanes, and a lot of the Carolina Hurricanes at the deadline talk is still going on. What they didn't do, should have done, could have done, shoulda, woulda, coulda, all that. But there did seem to be kind of one unanimous Carolina Hurricanes fan take, which was Alexander Nikishin is somebody that excites everyone, right?
Oh, yeah.
Even if you were considering, like, okay, it's all right if they include him in a trade, you were saying, but it better be 4, and then you listed, like, 3 dudes. Like, it better be just an unreal return. Or you're on the other side, which a lot of fans were as well, saying, like, you're not for all the tea in China. Like, they were not trading Alexander Nikishin for anything. If everyone agrees this guy has all the potential in the world, right? If everybody agrees he has a skill set, a size, right, some measurables you can't teach, is there a part of you that's a little excited when something like Shane Gostisbehere is out because it means that Alexander Nikishin gets to be on that power play 1 and we get to see some of that prodigious offensive ability? Because even Rod will tell you, like, he showed up with offensive ability ready to play, like just add water, ready to go.
Yeah, Tulsky told us the same thing.
Yep.
Multiple times. He's like, yeah, you can't teach some of the stuff that guy can do.
But it's been the opposite side of the ice and learning their system and instincts and everything else that has been the learning curve. So, like, kind of power play is one of those situations where it's like, you're telling me we just get all the exciting stuff and we get much less of the stuff that still needs growing? Like, are you a little excited, as assuming that Gostisbehere is not out long term because he's really important as well, just to see Nikishin get that opportunity?
Yeah, I am, because I think it helps further his development even further, because you never know. There might be a time in the playoffs where If Gostisbehere gets hurt again, well, guess what? It's a 2-2 game, and it's in the third period. You throw the first power play unit out there, and if Ghost is hurt, well, who's going out there with him? It's going to be Nikishin. So he needs these reps. He needs the opportunity to continue to gain confidence or gain further confidence in terms of what he can do offensively in the NHL. Not that he's not confident in himself, but sometimes it's you need to continue to do it on a consistent basis and kind of get that groove going a little bit. But to me, I think it's good for him just to get those repetitions because the more that he can get, the better that he will be. Ghost, I'm not worried about him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not worried about him in terms of what he can do. I just want him to be healthy, plain and simple. And if he has to sit out a couple weeks to get fully healthy to go into the playoffs, then fine, sit 2 weeks.
Yeah, I agree with that as well.
But for Nikishin's sake, yeah, give him a chance to go out there and play a little bit more, get a few more minutes out there. It only helps him.
This is another talk about the deadline, the trade deadline, because they didn't make the big splash everybody wanted to. What I want you to do, if you're somebody that is a true like hockey nerd, and if not, I'll just describe to you the experience you would have if you do this, is go watch one of the first couple of games in the postseason that Alexander Nikishin played for the Carolina Hurricanes. Right when it was him, it was Scott Morrow, it was him, it was back. Go watch one of those first couple of games that he played, and don't blink because you might miss him out there. And then go watch a game that he's going to play, I don't know, today. Like go watch a game today and just look at the difference. Okay, the Carolina Hurricanes have gotten significantly better than they were when they were eliminated from the Eastern Conference Finals last year, and they didn't have to make the splash at the deadline. They added Ehlers, they added Miller, but also they just have a much, much better, much, much more adjusted, much, much more knowledgeable of the system Alexander Nikishin than they had last year, who at the time, the language barrier, every barrier you could possibly have for a player from reaching their potential, he was dealing with in the postseason, and he was trying to learn in the highest pressure situations in the world. I think he is night and day different than last year. And every time he gets an opportunity like he gets tonight to take on a little bit more responsibility, it's going to accelerate and make that difference even bigger. Right? It's at the beginning of the year, it was all hands on deck on the blue line. Right? Miller was hurt, Chaville was hurt, Slavin was hurt. They had rookies all over the place, and Nikishin went from what are you looking at?
Oh, you said Miller was hurt, but he wasn't here.
I said earlier this year.
Oh, this year. Okay, I thought you said in the playoffs last year.
At the earlier in this year, it was all hands on deck on the blue line. Miller was hurt, Chatfield was hurt, Slavin was hurt. They had rookies all over the place, and
Ghost got hurt.
Ghost was hurt, then he wasn't, then he was, then it was a whole thing. Some of the rookies would show up and then they'd get hurt. And because of that, Nikishin went from like maybe you can ease him in with third line or third pairing minutes to like carb load the night before, you're running a marathon tomorrow. And I think that made him accelerate his development curve. And like, there was no, all right, we're going to take it easy with you. It was thrown into the deep end. So one of the ways, without the deadline being super splashy, that I think the Canes could be significantly improved from a year ago is Alexander Nikishin. Mm-hmm. And we knew that physically he was going to bring something different because he's, 6'4", 215, 220, whatever he is. But also, with every game, he's getting more and more kind of settled, might be the way to describe it, right? And that's worth its weight in gold. The quicker you can get him to comfortable or super comfortable or ultra comfortable, the better off you'll be this postseason. Because he's somebody that's going to be depended on. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when he's going to have to make one of those plays that not many people can make. And that could be the difference in a series, right? It's game inches. Brandon Bussey, not in net. You should be expecting Freddie Anderson tonight. And then just hopefully we get a solid Freddie evening. With that being said, you can hear it all right here, 99.9 The Fan. You can hear Adam Gold on Stormwatch at 6:30. Tomorrow, Dennis and I will be in Charlotte for the ACC Tournament, so tune in for that. Any questions or anything you want to know, let us know. You can get us on Twitter, at Donnelly Sports. Until then, though, have a great night. Enjoy Overdrive and the hockey game tonight. See ya.
Do
you have a smartphone? Of course you do. Do you have a pocket or pouch or human hand to hold your smartphone? Then you have no excuse. Download the 99.9 The Fan brand new app today and take us with you wherever you go. Your favorite hosts, podcasts, and live sports action all in one place. Available for Apple iPhone and Android phones. Finally, there's an app for 99.9 The Fan. Download the 99.9